Chapter 655. In such a short period of time, Ling Xiao had condensed a Dharma idol, and his cultivation had skyrocketed all the way to the peak of the 9th level of the monarch realm. At this moment, Ling Xiao's entire body was covered in a golden glow while the energy of the laws intertwined. The celestial emperor Dharma idol behind him suppressed the chaos and coiled around 3,000 worlds. It was like a supreme emperor who had created the world and suppressed the ages, and it emanated an aura that made all living beings revere and submit to it. Ling Xiao's accumulated strength had erupted, and his cultivation had skyrocketed once more. His strength had risen by more than 10 times. At this moment, Ling Xiao finally had the ability to face the heaven-scorching demon emperor head-on. Rumble! At the same time, the heaven-scorching demon emperor's body glowed brightly with strands of pure gold divine light. He slapped down with his palm, and endless energy of the laws converged as if the entire world had merged into his palm. The 6 geniuses who were already at the end of their rope instantly shook and spat out a mouthful of blood. Their auras instantly became extremely weak. He defeated 6 geniuses with a single palm strike. The heaven-scorching demon emperor stood at the peak of the sky. His golden armor glowed resplendently, and his red hair fluttered like blazing flames. His eyes were bright and dazzling, and they were filled with peerless battle intent. You're qualified to fight me, but the outcome won't be any different. You'll lose this battle, and the demon saint's inheritance will belong to me. The heaven-scorching demon emperor looked indifferently at Ling Xiao with a trace of surprise in his eyes. I've never been defeated. Not in the past and not in the future. Ling Xiao replied with a faint smile. These few short words revealed an incomparably strong self-confidence. I've never been defeated. Even you, the heaven-scorching demon emperor, aren't qualified to defeat me. How arrogant! Then let's see if your strength is as great as your mouth. The heaven-scorching demon emperor spoke indifferently. He instantly attacked. Boom! The surrounding space shook as a desolate, ancient, dignified, and mysterious aura erupted from the heaven-scorching demon emperor. It was like a primordial divine beast had awakened, and it emanated an unparalleled aura. The heaven-scorching demon emperor punched towards Ling Xiao. His fist was peerless, and it contained a force that caused the world to tremble. Ling Xiao noticed that the heaven-scorching demon emperor's fist was surrounded by the mysterious energy of the laws. It seemed to have faint crimson scales that contained a vast and terrifying force. Kill! Ling Xiao's eyes flickered as he activated the heavenly dragon's constitution and threw a punch at the sky-burning demon emperor. Crack! The sky was split open in an instant. Boundless spatial turbulence filled the air. Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor's fists collided. A muffled sound was heard, like the beating of a drum. Blazing light filled the air. Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor flew back at the same time and stood in the starry sky. Ling Xiao's arm felt slightly numb, and his gaze turned serious. The sky-burning demon emperor was just as he had imagined. He was a pure-blooded divine beast with an extremely powerful physical body. He was not any weaker than Ling Xiao, who had cultivated the body of the heavenly dragon. On top of that, the sky-scorching beast dominator had even overcome the tribulation of the 4 symbols, allowing him to merge with Zhou Tian. His flesh might even be stronger than Ling Xiao's. To be able to cultivate such a powerful physical body as a human, your talent is indeed not bad. But your mistake is that you shouldn't have made me your enemy. The sky-burning demon emperor said indifferently. With a flash of his figure, he came across the sky like a crimson bolt of lightning. In an instant, he threw over 100 punches at Ling Xiao. Boom! 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 Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor collided rapidly in the void. Their figures crisscrossed like 2 bolts of lightning. They were extremely fast. The crowd could only hear a series of muffled sounds that shook the sky. The stars in the surroundings trembled violently, spewing out endless starlight. Ling Xiao's physical body is actually comparable to the sky-burning demon emperor's? He's indeed a demon. Someone exclaimed in shock. His eyes were filled with shock. Who was the sky-burning demon emperor? The number 1 genius of the heavenly demon palace, who had made a name for himself in the war god continent 20 years ago. It could be said that the sky-burning demon emperor was not a genius of the same generation as Li Jingming, Jian Wushuang, and Ling Xiao, but a genius expert of the previous generation. No one knew what the original form of the sky-burning demon emperor was, but everyone knew that the sky-burning demon emperor was a pure-blooded divine beast with extraordinary talent. In the entire demon clan, only the 9th prince of the Crystal Palace, Long Outyen, could be compared to him. However, Long Outyen was too young and had not grown up. The sky-burning demon emperor could be said to be the #1 genius of the entire demon clan. The physical body of the demon clan was already the best in the world. It was difficult for the human clan to beat the demon clan in physical body, let alone a pure-blooded divine beast. Therefore, the fact that Ling Xiao could compete with the sky-burning demon emperor in physical body shocked many experts of the demon clan. My cousin Ling Xiao's innate talent is truly abnormal. However, the bloodline power in his body has not been activated. How could he cultivate such a pure heavenly dragon military body? Long Zhantian smiled bitterly and there was a trace of doubt in his eyes. Ling Xiao is a bastard. He stole my limelight again. Zhao Ritian gritted his teeth and said gloomily. He originally wanted to amaze the world with his holy body of the sun. However, he did not expect the sky-burning demon emperor to be so terrifying. Even with the power of the 6 supreme talents, they were still no match for the sky-burning demon emperor. Ling Zhao's terrifying combat strength made Zhao Ritian fearful and helpless. What's a little limelight? Don't worry about it. If Ling Xiao can defeat the sky-burning demon emperor, he will have helped you. At that time, the demon saint's inheritance will be yours. No one will fight with you for it. The second uncle comforted him. All right. When I get the demon saint's inheritance, I will let Ling Xiao know how powerful I am. Zhao Ritian nodded and said. When Jian Wushuang and Li Jingming saw the battle between Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor, there was a trace of strong fighting spirit in their eyes. One of them was a sword maniac and the other was a battle maniac. When they saw such strong opponents like Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor, they were naturally excited and secretly wanted to find a chance to fight with Ling Xiao. Boom! In the starry sky, the fluctuations of the battle were extremely violent. The battle between Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor was purely a physical fight. Fist to fist, fierce fighting. Monstrous chi and blood filled the void, causing people to be shaken. Boom! There was a burst of divine light. It was like a sun had exploded, causing endless light and heat. The sky-scorching demon emperor stepped into the void. With every step he took, the aura around him grew stronger. He took 9 steps in a row, causing the void to tremble. Dense purple clouds shrouded the sky as he stomped towards Ling Xiao. Chapter 656. Swoosh. Ling Xiao performed a teleportation secret technique at an extremely fast speed. He appeared behind the sky-scorching demon emperor like a phantom and threw a punch at the back of the sky-scorching demon emperor's head. The sky-scorching demon emperor blocked the attack with his hand as if he had eyes on his back. The void trembled as blazing runes exploded. The sky-scorching demon emperor turned his palm into a claw and grabbed at Ling Xiao's arm. At the same time, he formed an invincible fist seal with his other hand and threw it at Ling Xiao's chest. Bang! Ling Xiao dodged the sky-scorching demon emperor's claw like a loach. Dazzling runes gushed out from his palm as he slashed at the sky-scorching demon emperor's arm. Clang! The sky-scorching demon emperor's arm was as tough as metal. Dazzling sparks burst out from the slash and a powerful force struck at Ling Xiao's body. Buzz! Ling Xiao performed the sky-devouring secret technique and refined the strange force in an instant. The battle between Ling Xiao and the sky-scorching demon emperor was extremely fast. Both of them attacked at the same time and unleashed powerful attacks. Boom! 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 This was a clash between 2 invincible bodies. Ling Xiao's blood and qi surged as golden rays shot into the sky with a faint dragon's might. The sky-scorching demon emperor also had a powerful aura that did not belong to the dragon's might. He was on par with Ling Xiao as they fought fiercely. The sky-scorching demon emperor was the first person who was stronger than Ling Xiao in terms of physical strength since he was reborn. Furthermore, Ling Xiao could sense a strong threat from the sky-scorching demon emperor. This was an extremely powerful opponent. In the battle with the sky-scorching demon emperor, the heavenly dragon body was fully unleashed. Together with the power of the sky-devouring secret technique, the terrifying force unleashed by the sky-scorching demon emperor was refined by the sky-devouring secret technique. Ling Xiao became more courageous as the battle went on. The battle intent in his eyes was extremely strong. However, the sky-scorching demon emperor was a little anxious. His heart was not calm at all. Normally, even an expert of the same cultivation level as him would be severely injured if not killed by his punch. The sky-scorching demon emperor found it unbelievable that Ling Xiao, a human, possessed such a terrifying physical strength. Boom! The sky-scorching demon emperor's body glowed brightly as a mysterious aura spread out. Purple clouds rose from beneath his feet as he took a step forward. It was as though he had pierced through the void as he charged toward Ling Xiao. Within this fist, endless runes filled the air, as if countless monster beasts were prostrating themselves in worship. He was like a monarch of the monster race, suppressing the world. A fist soared through the sky, and an endless amount of blazing suns rose, wanting to turn this starry world into a vast sea of fire. This is the Great Sun Demon Emperor Fist. It is said that it is the supreme killing technique created by the heaven-burning demon emperor himself. Terrifying indeed. Someone exclaimed as he recognized the origin of the fist technique used by the sky-burning demon emperor. The Great Sun Demon Emperor Fist used the Great Sun True Fire as its foundation and absorbed the true intent of the ancient demon race. It was invincible and could crush everything. Chirp! A sharp cry of a phoenix resounded through the sky. Ling Xiao soared through the sky to attack. Raging flames rose around his body. A lifelike fire phoenix soared through the sky. Rumble! The fire phoenix soared through the sky, and endless flames rose. It collided with the Great Sun Demon Emperor Fist, causing the world to tremble. Ling Xiao seemed to have transformed into a fire phoenix, and he soared through the sky to attack the sky-burning demon emperor. Rumble! The sky-burning demon emperor's body was unfathomable, and a vast and terrifying power erupted. With a punch, he smashed the fire phoenix into pieces. Great Sun Demon Emperor Fist, Annihilation. The sky-burning demon emperor's eyes were filled with murderous intent. As he threw out a punch, a faint fluctuation was emitted from the fist radiance, as if the laws of heaven and earth were being stirred. It was an invisible force that spread toward Ling Xiao, as if it was going to turn everything into dust. Ling Xiao felt a sense of danger, and he retreated without hesitation. Powerful dragon aura filled his body, and he held the heavenly dragon seal with his left hand and the fire phoenix fist with his right hand. At the same time, he executed the secret skill of the ancestral dragon and the secret skill of the true phoenix and threw them forward. The fist radiance was instantly annihilated, and the faint fluctuation contained a terrifying force that blasted Ling Xiao's body. Ling Xiao's body shook as if he had been struck by lightning. His face turned pale, and a trace of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. The power of vibrations? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed sharply. Although the King Heaven Devourer Cauldron had quickly refined the fluctuations, he was still injured. Ling Xiao continued to use the secret skill of the ancestral dragon and the secret skill of the true phoenix to attack the sky-burning demon emperor. He still remembered that when he killed Di Lin, the dragon and phoenix auspicious, the secret skill of the ancestral dragon and the secret skill of the true phoenix merged in a strange state and unleashed a terrifying power. Ling Xiao wanted to enter that state again and then unleash a sure-kill attack. Is Ling Xiao going to lose? When the crowd saw that Ling Xiao was finally injured, their eyes immediately revealed a trace of shock. If Ling Xiao was defeated by the sky-burning demon emperor, then the demon sage's legacy would really fall into the hands of the sky-burning demon emperor. To Lin Hui, Long Zhantian, and the others, that was definitely not a good thing. The sky-burning demon emperor was very ambitious, and if he got the demon sage's legacy, he would be like a tiger that had grown wings. When that happened, it would be even harder to keep him in check. Don't worry. Ling Xiao is very lucky. The sky-burning demon emperor might be strong, but he's definitely not a match for Ling Xiao. The old goat said with a smile. He had a lot of faith in Ling Xiao. Demon Emperor grandson, sky-burning demon emperor. The sky-burning demon emperor's eyes flashed with a sharp light. As he shouted, a red flame rose up in the void. In an instant, it shone brightly. The flame was burning fiercely, as if it was the power of the intertwining of the power of law. Instantly, it spread towards the sky. Rumble! Ling Xiao shot up into the air like a bolt of golden lightning, dodging the flames. At the same time, the Heaven Devourer cauldron began to spin rapidly, unleashing a devouring power that devoured the flames. Rumble! After the Heaven Devourer cauldron devoured the flames, Ling Xiao's palm erupted with Heaven Devourer fire, which he shot back at the sky-burning demon emperor. It's impolite not to reciprocate. Have a taste of my Heaven Devourer fire. Ling Xiao said coldly. Rip. The sky-burning demon emperor's eyes flickered with cold light, as if he didn't care at all. Light flashed beneath his feet, and a halo of light spread out, reducing the Heaven Devourer fire to nothing. Chirp. The cry of a dragon echoed out, and the cry of a phoenix filled the air. Ling Xiao's eyes glittered, and his will to fight surged. In the blink of an eye, he was back in that state where the secret magic of the dragon and the phoenix were fused. Ling Xiao soared into the sky. The light around him was dazzling, turning into a huge vortex. Endless starlight was swallowed up. Behind him, the fire phoenix and the sky dragon rose into the air, slowly intertwining. An incomparably mysterious power gathered on Ling Xiao's fist. Die! Ling Xiao shouted, his eyes blazing with killing intent as he punched out toward the sky-burning demon emperor. Chapter 657. This was the auspicious dragon and phoenix, a supreme killing secret skill. Ling Xiao had comprehended the power of the combination of the secret skill of the ancestral dragon and the secret skill of the true phoenix by chance. This power had surpassed the superpower of the martial way and was close to the heavenly law. Rumble! The void shook violently as the terrifying destructive power shrouded the sky-burning demon emperor. The sky-burning demon emperor's expression changed drastically as he felt a fatal danger shrouding his heart. He simply could not understand how Ling Xiao was able to unleash such a terrifying power. In an instant he felt a great sense of threat. Great Sun Demon Emperor Fist, break! The sky-burning demon emperor roared as he punched out with both fists. A vast and blazing light rose as if it was going to break the world. Boom! However, the power was too strong. The sky-burning demon emperor was instantly wrapped up by it. A mysterious vibration power surged as if it was going to turn him into dust. The sky-scorching demon emperor let out an ancient and terrifying roar. Boundless blood qi gushed out from his body as flames spread out. Divine chains of order crisscrossed the heavens and the earth, trying to break free from this destructive power. Everyone saw the dazzling light in front of them. Suddenly, a huge creature appeared in the endless destructive power, exuding a monstrous flame aura. It was a huge, ferocious beast that was shrouded in monstrous flames. Its crimson scales shone brightly. It had the head of a lion, the horns of a deer, the eyes of a tiger, the body of a moose, the scales of a dragon, and the tail of an ox. Its crimson eyes were like the crimson moon as they exuded endless murderous intent and killing intent. However, it now looked extremely miserable. Most of the scales on its body were broken, and there were faint traces of golden blood. One of the two horns on its head was broken, and there was a bloody scar on its face. It looked extremely ferocious. It stood in the middle of the galaxy as it exuded a desolate, ancient, mysterious, and terrifying aura. It was like an archaean ferocious beast that had just woken up, causing everyone to tremble. That's if fire Qilin? Someone exclaimed as his eyes were filled with disbelief. Even his voice was trembling. The original form of the sky-burning demon emperor is a fire Qilin? A real pure-blooded divine beast? Gosh, that's incredible! Everyone's body trembled, setting off huge waves that reached the sky. They did not expect the sky-scorching demon emperor's true form to be the ancient divine beast Fire Qilin. The Qilin race was an ancient overlord that wasn't any weaker than dragons and phoenixes. They could fight against true dragons and true phoenixes. They could incinerate the heavens and destroy the earth. Their might was unparalleled. No wonder the sky-burning demon emperor's combat strength was so terrifying. If a pure-blooded divine beast did not have such shocking combat strength, would it still be considered a pure-blooded divine beast? What was even more shocking was that Ling Xiao had forced the sky-burning demon emperor to reveal his true body. What kind of power was that dragon phoenix combat technique? Ling Xiao was merely a human, so how could he know the supreme divine abilities of the Dragon Clan and the Phoenix Clan? Everyone had too many questions in their hearts, but after seeing the Fire Qilin, all that was left in their hearts was shock. Perhaps the Fire Qilin was one of the few remaining divine beasts in this world? If the Fire Qilin and the true dragon of the Eastern Sea were to meet, who would be the true king? Ling Xiao, you should be proud of yourself for being able to force me to reveal my true body. But now you can go to hell. The Fire Qilin spoke in human language and exuded a violent aura. Its blood-red eyes stared at Ling Xiao, filled with cold, murderous intent. The Dragon Phoenix combat technique had severely injured the sky-burning demon emperor. If it weren't for the fact that he was a pure-blooded Fire Qilin and had survived the tribulation of the four symbols, he might have been killed by Ling Xiao's attack. Your true body is indeed a pure-blooded Fire Qilin. You look very majestic. Why don't you be my mount? I'll spare your life. Ling Xiao's eyes lit up and he smiled faintly. You're courting death. The Fire Qilin was enraged. Its blood-red eyes were filled with murderous intent. It suddenly spat out a red flame that flew across the sky toward Ling Xiao. Kill! Ling Xiao's eyes were filled with sharpness. The pure-blooded Fire Qilin was an ancient divine beast. Not only did he not feel afraid, but he was also filled with fighting spirit. Rumble! Ling Xiao unleashed a fist strike, drawing on the Heaven Devourer Cauldron. The Heaven Devourer Cauldron shone with godlight of the four symbols, and the power of the 5 phases returned to heaven and earth. At the same time, the projection of the 6 paths of reincarnation appeared behind him. With the power of heaven and earth, Ling Xiao's fist glowed with shocking light as he and the sky-burning demon emperor engaged in a fierce battle. The two of them were fighting with all their might, each blow causing the dome of heaven to tremble and the stars to sway. Bam, bam, bam. The battlefield between Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor had already reached the center of the galaxy. Endless flames were rising there, and the divine beast's aura was unparalleled. Ling Xiao could be said to have used all his divine abilities. 108 supreme divine abilities and 4 peerless secret techniques were all unleashed. The Fire Qilin had mastered the Fire Qilin's secret magics, and its fists were surrounded by mysterious magical symbols that pulsed with impenetrable power. The battle between Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor was very difficult. In the blink of an eye, over 1,000 blows had passed. Both Ling Xiao and the Fire Qilin were injured, but the battle was still undecided. Ling Xiao's chest was hit by the Fire Qilin fist, and his internal organs were injured. His body was almost at its limit. The Fire Qilin was in a sorry state as well. The Fire Qilin armor on his body was shattered by Ling Xiao's unparalleled fists, and golden blood flowed out, bathing him in golden flames. Both of them are geniuses of the age. Someone exclaimed. His eyes were filled with incomparable shock. The so-called Gaochen star, Lin Hui, Jian Wushuang, and even Li Jingming and Long Zhantian were overshadowed by Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor. It wasn't that they were too weak, but Ling Xiao and the sky-burning demon emperor were too strong. Especially Ling Xiao, even if he was a monstrous genius and had condensed a heaven-defying divine ability, he was only at the peak of the 9th level of the monarch realm, but he was able to fight the sky-burning demon emperor to a draw. The true form of the sky-burning demon emperor was the ancient divine beast, the Fire Qilin. The shocking aura that the Fire Qilin emitted caused many experts of the demon clan to tremble, and they couldn't bring themselves to fight back. Brother Long, do you think Ling Xiao can win? Li Jingming asked slowly as he watched the battle in the distance. It's hard to say. Long Zhantian laughed bitterly and shook his head. His cousin Ling Xiao had surprised him time and time again. Even he felt that such peerless talent was unbelievable. The sky-burning demon emperor wasn't just a fire Qilin, he'd even overcome the four symbols tribulation. So, no one could predict the outcome of this battle. Ling Xiao will win. Moreover, the outcome will be out soon. The old goat was extremely confident in Ling Xiao, and a bright light flashed through his eyes as he spoke slowly. Bang! Ling Xiao and the fire Qilin collided once more, and the heavens and the earth shook as divine light burst out. Chapter 658. Let's decide the outcome with one blow. If you win, the demon saint's inheritance will be yours. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he looked at the fire Qilin. Okay. The fire Qilin's eyes were also filled with a shocking battle intent. After fighting with Ling Xiao to this extent, he even developed a kind of respect for Ling Xiao in his heart. As a human, he was able to fight with him for such a long time. Such an opponent made the fire Qilin unable to bear any hatred. Rumble! Ling Xiao closed his eyes slightly, and his body exuded a terrifying aura that could devour the world and sweep away everything in its path. Behind him, chaotic Qi rose, and the ancient celestial emperor Dharma idol stepped forward. Its eyes shone with the light of opening the heavens. Its white hair and white clothes covered the galaxy, and its body was surrounded by 3,000 worlds. It gave off an aura that suppressed the chaos and was eternal. Ling Xiao slowly raised his hand, and the celestial emperor Dharma idol also raised its hand. Kacha! The aura around Ling Xiao's body rose to the peak, and then he threw out a punch. The celestial emperor Dharma idol's hand seemed to merge with him, turning into a blazing fist aura that instantly lit up the entire galaxy. This punch was eternal, as if it was going to recreate the chaos and reopen the world. The heaven-scorching demon emperor's eyes flashed, and he suddenly roared, "Qilin opens the heavens, all transformations are eternal." A huge Qilin claw slammed towards Ling Xiao, rumbling through the void, containing endless power of laws and runes. This was the strongest remarkable ability that the heaven-scorching demon emperor had comprehended from his bloodline. It activated all of his essence blood, Genesis Qi, and spirit power. Rumble! The sky instantly exploded, and the surrounding 365 stars seemed to be unable to withstand such power. Hundreds of millions of divine light pillars instantly rose, circling around each other, and turned into a huge formation space that enveloped Ling Xiao and the fire Qilin. However, even with the envelopment of the formation, the destructive light and ripples still made everyone tremble. Their eyes were filled with extreme fear. Who won? Everyone's eyes widened, eager to see the result of this battle. Boom! Endless light scattered, and chaotic Qi lingered, and Ling Xiao's figure appeared in front of everyone. At this moment, Ling Xiao's black hair fluttered in the wind, and his white robes were whiter than snow. He was still in a punching posture, and the sharpness in his eyes seemed to be able to split the heavens and earth. As for the sky-burning demon emperor, a huge bloody hole appeared on the chest of the giant fire Qilin. Blood gushed out from all over his body. His eyes were filled with disbelief as he fell to the ground with a loud bang. The sky-scorching demon emperor's aura became extremely weak. Even he did not expect Ling Xiao's last punch to be so terrifying after combining the power of the Dharma idol. His Qilin secret technique was actually broken apart directly, causing his physical body to also suffer heavy injuries. You lost. Ling Xiao looked at the sky-scorching demon emperor and said slowly, "Ha, I lost, I really lost. Ling Xiao, you're very strong." With a flash of light, the giant fire Qilin turned back into the sky-burning demon emperor. He glanced at Ling Xiao, then burst out laughing. "I've lost. I'll give up on the demonic sage's inheritance. However, Ling Xiao, I'll defeat you sooner or later. This is just the beginning and it's far from the end. I hope that when I become a supreme being, you won't still be a half-step supreme being. Otherwise, it'll be very boring." The sky-scorching demon emperor did not fly into a rage like Ling Xiao had imagined. Instead, he chose to give up and spoke to Ling Xiao in a serious manner. His eyes were filled with a fanatical fighting spirit, and Ling Xiao was secretly shocked by his state of mind. The sky-scorching demon emperor was indeed a formidable opponent. He was not discouraged by his defeat, and he was courageous after being humiliated. After this defeat, the sky-scorching demon emperor might be able to reach the bottleneck of the supreme being level faster. Alright, I'll wait for you. Ling Xiao took a deep look at the sky-scorching demon emperor and said flatly. It was not that he had not thought of killing the sky-scorching demon emperor while he was seriously injured. However, although the sky-scorching demon emperor was seriously injured, he still had the strength to fight. Furthermore, as a divine beast, the fire Qilin might be able to perish together with Ling Xiao if he was forced into a corner. More importantly, Ling Xiao realized that he was starting to admire the sky-scorching demon emperor. It was a feeling of appreciation as an opponent. The love rival of his father did not seem to be as unbearable as the rumors made him out to be. Buzz. The golden divine sun above the sky-scorching demon emperor's head flashed and flew toward Ling Xiao. The sky-scorching demon emperor had given up on the demonic saint's inheritance. From now on, he would have nothing to do with the demonic saint's inheritance. The sky-scorching demon emperor's eyes revealed a trace of reluctance, but it quickly turned into a determined look. When the experts of the demonic clans saw the golden divine sun, their eyes revealed a trace of passion. This was the demonic saint's inheritance. Obtaining the demonic saint's inheritance would not only bring about great fortune, but also make one the lord of the demonic clan. However, no one dared to step forward to snatch it. Even the sky-scorching demon emperor had been defeated by Ling Xiao. If they went forward to snatch it now, it would be tantamount to suicide. Ling Xiao, I'll remember you. The sky-scorching demon emperor took a deep look at Ling Xiao and left without hesitation. He was teleported out of the myriad demons' palace by the Zhou Tian star. Lin Hui and Long Zhantian looked at the golden divine sun in Ling Xiao's palm with a trace of anticipation in their eyes. Big cousin, trust me. The demonic saint's inheritance belongs to the old goat. He has a close relationship with the demonic saint. Ling Xiao transmitted his voice to Long Zhantian. Long Zhantian was slightly stunned. Ling Xiao was going to fight for the demonic saint's inheritance for the old goat? However, he was magnanimous by nature. This time, he was going to stop the sky-scorching demon emperor from obtaining the demonic saint's inheritance. Since Ling Xiao said that the demonic saint's inheritance should belong to the old goat, he was not angry. The old goat had already run to Ling Xiao excitedly. He took the golden divine sun and merged it with the top of his head in an instant. The demonic saint's inheritance in the old goat had reached a shocking 218. Brother, I'll give you my demonic saint's inheritance. Long Zhantian smiled and gave the demonic saint's inheritance to the old goat without any reluctance. Ling Xiao's heart was filled with admiration. This cheap big cousin was a kind person. He could not let him suffer any losses. It seemed that he had to take good care of him. Finally, Ling Xiao and the old goat's eyes fell on Lin Hui. Lin Hui's face turned pale and green. He was struggling. He naturally did not want to hand over the demonic saint's inheritance. However, Ling Xiao and the old goat were staring at him. If he did not hand it over, he would be humiliating himself. The demonic saint's inheritance. I give it up. Chapter 659. Many thanks. The old goat chuckled. In an instant, all 365 demonic saints' inheritances gathered together. The top of the old goat's head shone brightly as boundless divine light surged. In the end, it turned into an ancient black door that seemed to lead to an unknown world. Everyone's body trembled. Perhaps behind that door was the true demonic sage's inheritance. Just as the old goat gathered the 365 demon saints' inheritances, a light flashed in the void and the white-haired elder sky appeared in front of everyone. When he saw the ancient door above the old goat's head, he was slightly startled. He seemed to be a little surprised and a little conflicted. In the end, it all turned into a deep sigh. When the old goat saw Elder Sky, his body suddenly trembled. His eyes revealed a trace of incomparable excitement. He opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but nothing came out. Everyone, the final inheritor of the demon saint's inheritance has been decided. You can all leave now. This world is far from being as peaceful as you think. I hope that the people of the demon race can work together and raise our cultivation as quickly as possible. Perhaps the day of the great calamity is not far away. Elder Sky slowly glanced at everyone with a hint of compassion in his eyes. May I ask, Elder Sky, what is the so-called great calamity? Could it be that the extraterrestrial demons are going to invade our war god continent again? Long Zhantian's eyes revealed a trace of doubt as he asked. Heaven's secrets cannot be revealed, cannot be said, cannot be said. You all can leave now. Elder Sky shook his head. With a wave of his sleeve, a bright light flashed and the door of the myriad demon palace suddenly opened, emitting an endless majestic aura. Although the experts of the demon race were somewhat unwilling, they still obediently left the myriad demon palace. Especially Lin Hui. Before leaving, he gave Ling Xiao a deep look with blazing killing intent in his eyes. Cousin Ling Xiao, do you want to return to the Crystal Palace with me? Before leaving, Long Zhantian looked at Ling Xiao and asked, Big cousin, I can't leave for now. Leave the map of the Crystal Palace with me. When this matter is over, I'll go to the Crystal Palace to find you. Ling Xiao smiled faintly. All right. Long Zhantian nodded, and with a flash of light in his hand, an ancient golden token appeared, and he handed it over to Ling Xiao. This is my Crown Prince token. It will guide you to the Crystal Palace. Little Nine wanted to come and find you, but he was suppressed by the old man in the Crystal Palace. When you come to the Crystal Palace, Imperial Father might be happy and release Aunt. Ling Xiao took it and said with a faint smile, Don't worry, big cousin. I'll rush to the Crystal Palace as soon as possible. But you have to be careful on this trip. I've offended many people, and I'm afraid they'll vent their anger on you. Ha! Could it be that they dare to provoke my dragon clan? You, on the other hand, have to be careful. You've killed so many people in the Holy Ground. I'm afraid that outside the Holy Ground, those Holy Lands have already set up an inescapable net and are waiting for you to walk right into it. Long Zhantian said worriedly. Don't worry, big cousin. I have my own ways to escape. You guys should leave quickly. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Long Zhantian nodded his head. Brother Ling, if you have time, please come to the Azura sect for a chat. Li Jingming said to Ling Xiao before he left. Don't worry, Brother Li. I'll go to the Azura sect. Ling Xiao replied. In the end, everyone left the myriad demon palace. All the demon clan elites knew that this time, the demon clan was going to be shaken. The heaven-scorching demon emperor did not obtain the demon saint's inheritance, but it was obtained by an extremely mysterious old goat. And that old goat was suspected to be Ling Xiao's pet. This made them very unhappy. They had to discuss countermeasures. Even if the old goat obtained the demon saint's inheritance, they could not admit that he was the demon clan's master. Since the demon clan was already divided, then let it continue to be divided. Having another master above them was purely asking for trouble. As for Sky Elder's words, they threw them to the back of their minds in the blink of an eye. In the myriad demon palace, the bright starry skies suddenly became cold and cheerless. Only Ling Xiao and the old goat were left. Why is it you? Sky Elder glanced at the old goat and sighed softly. Why can't it be me? The old goat stared at Sky Elder with burning eyes and asked. This burden is too heavy, and the future is too dangerous. I only hope that you can live well. Sky Elder slowly said. The great calamity is coming. Without strength, how can I live? This inheritance belongs to me, and only I can obtain it. The old goat said with unprecedented seriousness and stubbornness. The great calamity is coming. Only those at the peak will die. If you can be a little more mediocre, then you can naturally live. Sky Elder's eyes revealed a trace of gentleness as he spoke. When the heavens and earth collapse, all life is like an ant. If the heavens and earth do not exist, then how can I live? Besides, as your son, how can I be mediocre? Father, I don't want to be mediocre. The old goat looked at Sky Elder with burning eyes, and his eyes turned slightly red. The feeling of being connected by blood could not be erased by time, nor could the heavens and earth. Standing in front of Sky Elder, the old goat knew that this was his father. In other words, Sky Elder was the demon saint. Sky Elder's body trembled. The word father made his originally calm state of mind unable to calm down. A trace of guilt and regret appeared in his eyes. You still found out? The old goat seemed to be a bit emotional as he said, How could I not know? You are my father. Even if you are only left with an origin spirit, you are still my father. But why did you seal me for 1,000,000 years? Why didn't you let me see you and my mother with my own eyes? Why are you so cruel? As the old goat spoke, he began to cry like a child. That kind of sadness, that kind of loneliness, that kind of helplessness made Ling Xiao's eyes redden involuntarily. The old goat that laughed and cursed, the wretched and arrogant, the greedy and optimistic Sky Elder, who seemed to have nothing to worry about, actually revealed such a helpless side. My son. Sky Elder trembled. He reached out to touch the old goat, but it was as if he was touching the void. He didn't have a physical body, only an imprint. He couldn't even touch his own son. Endless pain appeared on Sky Elder's face as he unconsciously clenched his fists. I am your son, but do you know that I don't even have a name? After being sealed for 1,000,000 years, do you know my loneliness and helplessness? Do you know my desires and dreams? Why didn't you let me die with you 1,000,000 years ago? The old goat became more and more emotional. Sparkling tears fell from his eyes as he became even sadder. Even though Sky Elder deliberately hid his aura in the holy ground, the feeling of being connected by blood was something that couldn't be severed no matter what. This was especially true after the old goat obtained 365 demonic sage inheritances. The moment he saw Elder Sky, he instantly understood that Elder Sky was his father. He also understood everything, including his origin. Many of his previous guesses were confirmed. Chapter 660. Ling Xiao was silent. He wanted to persuade the old goat, but he didn't know where to start. At this moment, the old goat was like a child who had been wronged, wailing loudly. Ling Xiao had never seen the old goat like this before, but he didn't know what to say about the matter between father and son. He could only remain silent. Elder Sky sighed softly. His eyes revealed a trace of gentleness and love. He slowly said, You're right. I didn't fulfill my responsibility as a father. I didn't even know why my primordial spirit imprint existed for 1,000,000 years. Now that I think about it, perhaps it wasn't to protect the demon saint's inheritance, but to see you one more time. The old goat trembled. His eyes were red, but he still clenched his teeth and didn't speak. You don't know how terrifying that battle 1,000,000 years ago was. A great calamity descended, the heavens collapsed, the earth caved in, and all living beings howled in grief. Everything ceased to exist, and your mother and I were martyred in that battle. Elder Sky's voice was filled with endless vicissitudes, causing the old goat's heart to tremble. 1,000,000 years ago, the extraterrestrial demons descended and wreaked havoc in this world. They used the creatures of this world as food, slaves, and servants. The billions of creatures of the war god Great World were wiped out. Under such circumstances, forgive me for not being able to watch you die, so I could only seal you. Ling Xiao understood. So when he saw the old goat in the holy ground 10,000 years ago, it had just broken the seal and came to this world. However, I'm very happy to be able to see you again. I believe your mother would be very happy as well. I originally didn't intend to pass the inheritance to you because the responsibility is too heavy. However, since you're following him, it seems that this is fate. The demon saint's inheritance must be inherited by you, and the title of demon saint will also be given to you. Elder Sky, or should he call him demon saint, looked deeply at Ling Xiao. Me? Could it be because of the wordless heavenly book? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed as he slowly asked, Young man, it's your fortune to obtain the wordless heavenly book, but it's also your misfortune. The road ahead is dangerous, and you must shoulder the heavy burden to complete the mission that we have yet to complete. Demon Saint said with a deeper meaning. Lord Demon Saint? The great calamity 1,000,000 years ago, other than the invasion of the extraterrestrial demons, what else was there? What is your relationship with the Scarlet Dragon War God? Is the Scarlet Dragon War God dead? Ling Xiao had countless questions in his heart. Now that he saw the demon overlord, he asked all of them, "The great calamity a million years ago? The invasion of the extraterrestrial demons is only a part of it. As for the deeper reason, the great terror and the great law, I can't tell you. You can only rely on yourself to find the answer." At the mention of the calamity a million years ago, Ling Xiao saw that even the demon sage's essence spirit imprint showed a hint of fear. The Scarlet Dragon War God is the #1 genius since ancient times. He is also the Lord that I follow. Mentioning the Scarlet Dragon War God, the monster overlord's eyes unconsciously revealed a trace of reverence. A million years ago, if it weren't for the Scarlet Dragon War God, I'm afraid the myriad worlds would have been destroyed in a single day. At that time, the Scarlet Dragon War God had 4 divine generals under his command: the Demon Saint, the Buddhist Lord, the Moon Mother, and the Spirit Sovereign. The Demon Saint is naturally me. The Buddhist Lord, the Moon Mother, and the Spirit Sovereign also fought bravely in that battle. They followed the Scarlet Dragon War God, fought against the 9 heavens, broke through the 9 underworlds, looked down on everything, and killed the extraterrestrial demons. As for whether the 3 of them are still alive in this world, I don't know. The Scarlet Dragon War God did die in the battle. If he hadn't sacrificed himself in the end, how could there have been a million years of peace? Ling Xiao was shocked and asked slowly, "Senior 9-tailed celestial fox suppressed an extraterrestrial demon god. She should also be a subordinate of the demon overlord, right? The cultivation of the Scarlet Dragon War God and the other seniors should have reached the divine realm, right? With such a horrible battle strength, is it not enough to kill the extraterrestrial demons? Little guy, when you reach the divine realm, you will know that the divine realm is just the starting point. The road of martial arts is long and long. Even the Scarlet Dragon War God doesn't dare to say that he has reached the peak." The demon overlord smiled with a deep meaning. "The divine realm is just the starting point?" Ling Xiao was shocked. He was a little excited, but also inexplicably heavy. The legendary divine spirit realm allowed one to live forever and possess an endless lifespan. It was the ultimate goal of countless supreme being experts on the War God continent. But in the eyes of the Beast Saint, the divine spirit realm was only the starting point. How powerful was the demon overlord's cultivation? And how terrible was the extraterrestrial demons, who made the demon overlord feel like he was facing a great enemy? Little guy, the Scarlet Dragon War God didn't fully understand the secret of the wordless book, but he once said that it contained the secret to resolve the great calamity. I hope you can make progress bravely and resolve this great calamity that will sweep the heavens. The demon overlord sighed softly. Ling Xiao nodded and felt a heavy burden in his heart. It seemed that he still had a long way to go. Following that, Ling Xiao asked a few more questions. However, the demon saint had already died a million years ago, and this was only a primordial spirit imprint of it. As for many of the details, Ling Xiao could not remember them clearly. But the words revealed by the demon overlord made Ling Xiao feel inexplicably heavy. Was the Scarlet Dragon War God really dead? The demon overlord's gaze finally landed on the old goat, but the old goat was still very stubborn. His eyes were red as he stared blankly at the demon overlord without saying a word. "Actually, your mother and I gave you a name. Your name isn't. Your mother gave it to you. She hoped that you would be able to live a peaceful life," the demon overlord said softly. Ling Xiao could see that the demon overlord's eyes were crystal clear and slightly moved. But he was just a mark of the primordial spirit and might not even be able to cry. The old goat's eyes reddened and tears silently flowed down again. How many times had he dreamed of his mother, but he had never seen his mother? What kind of pain was that? And the 2 words, an, seemed to instantly penetrate the old goat's heart, making him as weak as a child. Tears flowed down his face uncontrollably. "Do you want to see your mother? She's a very beautiful woman." The demon overlord's eyes were filled with a loving smile. The old goat nodded vigorously and stretched out his hooves to wipe his tears. But just as he wiped them dry, tears fell again. Buzz! A light flashed in the demon overlord's hand, and the shadow of a woman appeared in front of the old goat. The light was dense, and it was a very gentle woman wearing a white robe. She had a faint smile on her face and was as gentle as water. Chapter 661. Mother, this is my mother. The old goat muttered to himself. He unconsciously stretched out his arms, wanting to hug this gentle woman. However, it was only a shadow. It didn't have a physical body. The old goat's hooves touched it and the light dispersed from his body. Drops of sparkling tears fell from his eyes. The old goat's body trembled slightly. He was choked with sobs and couldn't say anything. And I'm going to leave now. I'm going to find your mother. You'll have to rely on yourself in the future. Behind that door is the thing I've left for you. Stay by Ling Xiao's side and don't be willful, okay? After the demon overlord condensed the light shadow, his figure instantly dimmed. He was just a primordial spirit imprint that had existed for 1,000,000 years, all for this moment of meeting. After seeing the old goat, the demon saint's obsession seemed to have completely disappeared. This soul imprint also completely returned to nothingness. No. Father, don't go. Mother doesn't want me anymore. Don't you want me too? The old goat shouted emotionally. His eyes were blurred by tears as though he had lost the most precious thing in his life. He shouted with all his might, wanting the demon saint to stay. I'm sorry, the demon saint sighed softly. His dim body was like a candle flame in the wind. He began to turn into a faint rain of light. Father, I don't want you to go. Father, will we ever meet again? The old goat's eyes were red. He wailed like a child. He stretched out his trembling hands, wanting to grab something, but he couldn't grab anything. The Scarlet Dragon War God once said that if you can reach the legendary immortal realm, you might be able to reverse time. And if you miss me and your mother, then work hard and cultivate. The demon saint's eyes were filled with reluctance, but he didn't have time. As soon as he finished speaking, his body completely turned into a rain of light, disappearing from the resplendent Milky Way. Don't be like this. Your father and mother definitely don't want to see you like this. Ling Xiao sighed and gently picked up the old goat. He could feel the old goat's loneliness and helplessness. Its entire body was trembling and curling up as if it was afraid of something. Ling Xiao, do you think father lied to me? Will I be able to see father and mother when I ascend to the legendary supreme god realm? The old goat raised his head abruptly and looked at Ling Xiao expectantly. Ling Xiao's heart trembled, and he couldn't help but nod. Your father didn't lie to you. According to the legends, the Paragon God realm was the king of all gods, the lord of all living beings. They could control the laws of the heavens and reverse time, and even life and death. As long as you ascend to the Emperor realm, you can revive your father and mother. You promise? The old goat asked stubbornly like a child. I promise. Ling Xiao nodded solemnly. Good. I will definitely ascend to the Emperor realm. I will definitely revive father and mother. I definitely will. The old goat said seriously. The tears in the old goat's eyes evaporated, leaving behind incomparable determination. Let's go behind this door and see what your father left for you. Ling Xiao rubbed the old goat's head and changed the topic. But the old goat nodded and turned into a ray of light with Ling Xiao, entering the ancient door. Buzz. This was an ancient small world. It looked incomparably vast, with continuous mountain ranges and towering ancient trees. It was like a primitive world. However, this small world didn't have any traces of life, as if it lacked some natural charm. In the middle of the world, a bright light filled the air. It was a huge blood pool that seemed to be tens of thousands of feet wide. The blood pool was filled with resplendent golden blood. It vibrated slowly like a sea of blood, containing an endless amount of essence qi. In the middle of the sea of blood, a black scepter floated. It emitted an ancient and mysterious aura as if it was nurtured by the sea of blood. There was a very powerful fluctuation that spread out. This is what your father left for you. The blood sea should contain a powerful bloodline power and martial arts inheritance. As for the scepter, it should be a powerful treasure. Go and refine it. If you want to ascend to the Emperor realm, you have to walk the path step by step. Now, you have to prove your Tao and break through to the immortal realm first. Ling Xiao patted the old goat and smiled. Ling Xiao, don't you want to know my real body? I can tell you now. The old goat looked at Ling Xiao seriously. Your real body? Not Tao Tai? Ling Xiao was slightly stunned and couldn't help but blurt out. How did you know? The old goat was stunned and instantly became furious. He had made up his mind to tell Ling Xiao what his real body was, but he didn't expect Ling Xiao to already know and expose him. Ling Xiao said helplessly, the sky-devouring secret skill can devour everything in the world. Among the ancient divine beasts, only the ferocious beast Tao Tai has such a terrifying secret skill. Although not many people know about this, don't forget that the time I spent cultivating the sky-devouring secret skill isn't any shorter than yours. In his previous life, the old goat had never revealed his real body. Although Ling Xiao had some doubts back then, he wasn't sure. Until he obtained the wordless heavenly book in this life and felt a mysterious wave from it, Ling Xiao guessed that the old goat's real body should be the ancient ferocious beast Tao Tai. The ancient ferocious beast Tao Tai was rumored to be one of the 4 ancient ferocious beasts along with Hun Dun, Cheong Qi, and Tao Wu. The 4 ancient ferocious beasts were extremely terrifying. Legend had it that they could kill true dragons, annihilate true phoenixes, and slaughter all living things. Especially the Tao Tai, it was said to be able to devour the heavens and earth. It was ferocious and omnipotent. It was just that legend had it that the 4 ancient ferocious beasts had very low spiritual intelligence. They lived in the chaos and weren't as well known as the famous ancient divine beasts. Ling Xiao also didn't expect the old goat's real body to be the Tao Tai. Moreover, the ferocious Tao Tai actually had spiritual intelligence. What a strange story. The old goat roared and his body shone brightly. In an instant, he turned into a huge ferocious beast that was 10,000 feet tall. He was covered in black divine light and looked like a goat with a human face and tiger teeth. He was covered in black scales and his eyes were like blood moons in the sky. The ferocious aura was no weaker than the sky-burning demon emperor's real body, the fire Qilin. In fact, it was even stronger. This was the ancient ferocious beast, Tao. Ling Xiao, are you scared? Do you believe that I won't devour you? The Tao Tai spoke in the human language. It was the old goat's tone and it seemed very proud. Chapter 662. Stop showing off. If I'm not mistaken, your Tao Tai bloodline hasn't fully awakened yet. You've been sealed for too long and are lacking in some way. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been defeated by the heaven-scorching demon emperor. Ling Xiao rolled his eyes and said in a speechless manner, Heaven-scorching demon emperor? Who the hell is that? If it weren't for the fact that I'm in bad shape, I would have beaten him to the ground already. The old goat said angrily as if its tail had been stepped on. Just wait until I refine this pool of quintessence blood and fully awaken my Tao Tai bloodline. Then I'll go find that heaven-scorching demon emperor and beat him up so badly that even his mother won't recognize him. The old goat said angrily. All right. Hurry up and accept the legacy. I'll stand guard for you. Ling Xiao said, glaring at him. The old goat had a carefree nature, so Ling Xiao changed the topic. After this round of banter, the old goat's depressed mood slowly recovered. Ling Xiao was slightly relieved. With a flash of light, the old goat turned back into a goat and flew into the blood pool to receive the inheritance. Rumble! This pool of blood was ancient and mysterious. The moment the old goat entered it, a blood energy filled the air and submerged the old goat in an instant. Magical symbols intertwined, and godly light swirled around him. Huge waves surged within the blood pool, almost as if it were on fire. A ferocious aura spread out, causing heaven and earth to tremble. It was as if some primeval beast had awoken and was emanating a murderous aura. Whiz! A blood-colored Tao Tai slowly appeared in the air above the blood pool, as if it were formed from the power of magical laws, and contained boundless godly power that could devour heaven and earth. The old goat seemed to be in a state of Tao enlightenment, and as the power of his bloodline flowed into him, he began to gain enlightenment of the Tao Ye's legacy divine ability. That's the aura of the heaven-devouring secret art? Ling Zhao's eyes widened as he looked at the blood-colored Tao Tai in the blood pool. It was surrounded by magical symbols, and seemed to be devouring the quintessence energy of heaven and earth. That mysterious aura was none other than the fluctuations of the heaven-devouring secret art. Ling Xiao had already reached the third level of the heaven-devouring secret magic, and had created the King Heaven-Devourer Cauldron. Ling Xiao had a faint premonition that if he could condense the heaven-devouring divine sea in the Supreme Being realm, it might be of great help to him in breaking through to the divine spirit realm. However, it was extremely difficult to condense the heaven-devouring divine sea. In his previous life, Ling Xiao had become the #1 titled Supreme Being in the world, but he had not been able to condense the heaven-devouring divine sea. The blood-colored Taotai in front of him seemed to have revealed the mysteries of the sky-devouring secret skill to him. Ling Xiao stared at the blood-red Taotai and felt that his understanding of the sky-devouring secret skill was improving rapidly. At the same time, he was consolidating his cultivation. Even though he'd absorbed the essence of the tribulation lightning, he still had to consolidate his cultivation and solidify his foundation in the martial Tao. While the old goat and Ling Xiao were accepting the inheritance in the myriad demon palace, a storm was brewing outside the holy ground. The news that the heaven-scorching demon emperor had been defeated by Ling Xiao, and that the demon saint's inheritance had been obtained by an unknown old goat had instantly spread throughout the savage demon domain. At the entrance of the holy ground, numerous experts with terrifying auras were waiting for Ling Xiao and the old goat with cold expressions and blazing killing intent. They'd set up an inescapable net. There were experts from the demon race here, but there were even more experts from the holy lands of the martial Tao. The experts of the demon race weren't willing to let the demon saint's inheritance fall into the hands of the old goat. They wanted to seize the opportunity before the old goat matured and seize the inheritance. As for the experts from the holy lands of the martial Tao, including the Starry Palace, Nantian Clan, Emperor Tomb Mountain, Precious Treasure Pavilion, and so on, they'd all lost peerless geniuses to the holy ground at Ling Xiao's hands. This was simply a matter that shook the entire war god continent. The Gaochen Star, Nantian Sky King, the 2nd and 6th saints of Emperor Tomb Mountain, Zhang Shuhao, Yan Luo, and so on were all top experts in the war god continent, but they'd all been killed by Ling Xiao just like that. If Ling Xiao had the support of the holy lands of the martial Tao, it wouldn't have been a big deal. However, Ling Xiao was merely a rogue cultivator. How dare he be so arrogant? The holy lands of the martial Tao couldn't take this lying down. Not to mention, there were even rumors that Ling Xiao had obtained the Scarlet Dragon War God's inheritance. That was why he had such heaven-defying combat strength. Outside the holy ground, countless experts wanted to take revenge on Ling Xiao, while others wanted to fish in troubled waters. All of them were filled with killing intent. However, 1 month had passed, 2 months had passed, and half a year had passed. Ling Xiao and the old goat still hadn't come out. Rumble! At the entrance of the holy ground, the array formed by the 108 giant stars had closed. Ling Xiao and the old goat were still inside the holy ground. Some people had already left in disappointment, but there were still many who were unwilling to accept this. They believed that even if the array was closed, as long as the old goat obtained the demon saint's inheritance, he'd definitely be able to open the array from the inside. Therefore, they were still guarding outside the holy ground. Half a year later within the holy ground, the blood pool was still suffused with the aura of blood while golden radiance coiled around it. However, the blood-red Taotai had dimmed down slightly while the old goat's aura grew even more terrifying. On the other hand, the old goat was slowly refining and absorbing the black scepter in midair. The old goat told Ling Xiao that the scepter was called the Demon Saint Scepter, and it was a supreme divine artifact. It was a divine artifact that his father, the Demon Saint, had left behind all those years ago. The Demon Saint Scepter had been damaged in the battle 1,000,000 years ago. Even though it had naturally recovered after 1,000,000 years, it still hadn't fully recovered, and it required the old goat's blood essence to nourish it. As for the Demon Saint Scepter, it was a sacred artifact of the demon race. It contained the blood essence of a myriad of demons, and it was extremely effective against the demon race. Possessing the Demon Saint Scepter represented that one had become the ruler of the demon race. During this half a year of time, Ling Xiao had gained a deeper understanding of the Heaven Devourer's secret technique by comprehending the talisman markings on the blood-red Taotai, and he'd even consolidated his cultivation at the 9th level of the monarch realm. Ling Xiao, leave the holy ground for now. I have to refine and absorb the blood essence within the pool and activate my bloodline. Moreover, I have to refine and absorb this minor world as well. It'll take quite some time. You don't have to stay here with me. The old goat sent Ling Xiao a voice transmission. All right then. Ling Xiao nodded. It was very safe within the myriad demon palace, and no one would disturb the old goat's cultivation. Moreover, it really was time for him to leave. It was time for him to head to the Eastern Sea and meet that uncle of his. Ling Xiao's figure flashed and left the myriad demon palace. Outside the myriad demon palace, a green talisman marking seemed to have noticed Ling Xiao's aura, and it instantly shot towards him like a ray of light. A message left behind by Taoist Wu Yang? Chapter 663. Ling Xiao, I've already left the holy ground. I'll pay a visit to the ancestral tombs of those sects that want to deal with you. I'll see you again. See you next time, Wu Yang. Ling Xiao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He didn't see Taoist Wu Yang when he entered the Thousand Demon Palace. He didn't expect that old man to leave the holy ground and say that he was going to visit the ancestral tombs of the martial Dao holy grounds. Ling Xiao silently mourned for those martial Dao holy grounds. One had to know that Taoist Wu Yang was someone who never left empty-handed. If he visited the ancestral tombs of those martial Dao holy grounds, he would probably sweep up all the corpses. Now, there should be many people waiting for me outside the holy ground. But I'm afraid I'll have to disappoint you. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed coldly. A light flashed in his hand and the Broken Realm shuttle appeared in his palm. The Broken Realm shuttle could travel through the void. Hence, he didn't need to go through the entrance of the holy ground. He could leave the holy ground with the Broken Realm shuttle's power. Buzz. The Broken Realm shuttle turned into a dazzling light and instantly enveloped Ling Xiao. It directly pierced through the void and entered the void turbulence. An image of the outside world seemed to appear on the Broken Realm shuttle. There were bright spots of light on it. Those were the coordinates of the War God continent. They could guide Ling Xiao to the designated location of the War God continent. The easternmost land, the shore of the East Sea. This is it. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He could vaguely see a vast ocean in the easternmost land of the War God continent. That was the East Sea, where the East Sea demon race resided. It was also where the Crystal Palace was located. Ling Xiao pointed his finger. Immediately, the Broken Realm shuttle wrapped around Ling Xiao and turned into a ray of light that shot towards the East Sea. Boom! It was unknown how long they traveled through the chaotic streams of space. When the world-breaking shuttle broke through the void and appeared on the War God continent again, Ling Xiao had already traveled tens of millions of miles through the savage desolate region and arrived at the shores of the Eastern Sea. Boom! In front of him was a vast ocean. Huge waves surged, colliding with the sky. It emitted a majestic aura. Endless water vapor permeated the air. The sky above the Eastern Sea was blue as if it had been washed clean. The resplendent sunlight shone on the surface of the sea, causing the waves to sparkle. It was very resplendent. At this moment, Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He felt a powerful fluctuation coming from the celestial stone. He immediately entered the heavenly god stone. After a few months, Su Mainyang had completely refined the nine-tailed celestial fox's inheritance. She floated in the sky with 9 furry tails behind her, emitting a mysterious and ancient aura. Ling Xiao also discovered that Su Mainyang had actually passed the Great Earth Tribulation in one go. Now, she was already a half-step supreme being with the first Elephant Tribulation. Phoenix Maiden was holding Lula's hand, and Big Radish was watching from afar. Ling Xiao's appearance in the celestial stone immediately attracted their attention. Ling Xiao, you're here? What's the result of the battle for the demonic sage's inheritance? The Phoenix Maiden looked at Ling Xiao in surprise. She realized that Ling Xiao's cultivation had increased again, becoming unfathomable. When they were fighting for the demonic sage's inheritance, Ling Xiao had left the Phoenix Maiden in the Celestial Stone. In the blink of an eye, half a year had passed. The demonic sage's inheritance has been obtained by the old goat. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and told her about what had happened in the Myriad Demon's palace. When she heard that the sky-burning demon emperor was an ancient fire Qilin divine beast that had defeated the 6 supreme talents but was still defeated by Ling Xiao in the end, the Phoenix Maiden's beautiful eyes were filled with splendor. The young man in front of her had come from the 8 Desolates region and had grown step by step. Every time, he would create an unbelievable miracle. Master, you're so powerful. However, I really didn't expect that your mount, the old goat, would be the demonic sage's son. This is unbelievable. Big Radish also pounced forward and hugged Ling Xiao's leg, flattering him with a flattering smile. You really didn't expect it? Ling Xiao looked at him with a faint smile. Of course, I really didn't expect it. Big Radish's body stiffened and he quickly grinned. Ling Xiao ignored him and his gaze landed on Su Mainyang in the distance. Buzz. With a flash of light in the void, the huge 9-tailed white fox transformed back into the appearance of Su Mainyang. She looked extremely charming. Every frown and smile of hers exuded endless charm. Her innate charm had been strengthened to the extreme. Su Mainyang's skin was like jade and her curves were exquisite. Her figure was very hot, especially her fair breasts. They trembled slightly with Su Mainyang's breathing, making one feel as if their blood was spurting out. Thank you, young Master Ling. Su Mainyang's eyes were filled with sincerity as she bowed deeply to Ling Xiao. If it weren't for Ling Xiao's help, she would have fallen into Zhang Shuhao's hands, let alone the 9-tailed celestial fox's inheritance. However, the moment Su Mainyang bent over, a deep cleavage entered Ling Xiao's eyes. Ling Xiao's face stiffened and he couldn't help but cough lightly. Ahem. Fairy Su, you're too polite. Please rise. Su Mainyang also noticed that Ling Xiao's gaze was a little strange. She instantly understood and her face flushed red, looking very shy. The Phoenix girl glared at Ling Xiao fiercely and looked at Su Mainyang with vigilance. Fairy Su, Fairy Feng, we've already left the holy ground. This is the easternmost land, the shore of the East Sea. May I know where the two of you are going next? Ling Xiao laughed dryly and immediately changed the topic. Zhang Shuhao died in your hands. There must be a commotion in the treasure pavilion. In order to prevent the Zhang family from acting out of desperation, I have to go back. Young Masterling, if you have time, please come to Green Hill. I'll be sure to welcome you. Su Mainyang's beautiful eyes were rippling as she looked at Ling Xiao and smiled. Of course. Ling Xiao smiled. It had to be said that after Su Mainyang had condensed the 9-tailed celestial fox's bloodline, her every frown and smile was filled with a myriad of emotions. That kind of natural charm could make people unknowingly fall for it. Su Mainyang could totally be called a stunner of the world. I have nothing to do anyway. I can accompany you to the East Sea Crystal Palace. The Phoenix girl smiled faintly and stood beside Ling Xiao naturally. She looked at Su Mainyang with a hint of provocation. Su Mainyang chuckled and her eyes were filled with teasing intent. In the end, Su Mainyang took the 9-tailed celestial fox's corpse and left the god's stone, rushing back to Green Hill. Ling Xiao did not expect the headquarters of the treasure pavilion, the incomparably mysterious Green Hill, to be in the savage demon territory. Ling Xiao, the Phoenix girl, Big Radish, and Luo Luo boarded a void spaceship and flew towards the depths of the East Sea. Just as Ling Xiao was heading towards the East Sea, in the savage demon territory, Zhao Ritian was riding on the void golden eyes beast and galloping in a vast mountain range. However, he looked depressed. Chapter 664. Second uncle, didn't you say that the demonic sage's inheritance is mine and no one can take it away from me? Why do we have to leave the holy ground? If you don't tell me clearly today, I won't let you off. Zhao Ritian was extremely frustrated. Initially, second uncle had told him that the demonic sage's inheritance was his. However, when second uncle met the heavenly elder, he told Zhao Ritian that he could leave without saying a word. Zhao Ritian was very disappointed and angry. If he could obtain the demonic sage's inheritance, He might be able to reach the top in one step and become a supreme being. Therefore, he could not understand why second uncle would ask him to give up. Regan, let me tell you this. Even if the sky-burning demon king obtained the right to obtain the demonic sage's inheritance, I'm confident that I can snatch it for you. However, that old goat is not simple. Second uncle said in frustration. Old goat? Isn't that old goat Ling Xiao's pet? He can't even defeat the sky-burning demon king. What's so special about him? Zhao Ritian was in disbelief. Because he's the son of the demonic sage. Second uncle sighed. What? The son of the demonic sage? Zhao Ritian's body trembled. His eyes were filled with disbelief. As for the heavenly elder, he's not the weapon spirit of the Thousand Demons Palace. He's the primordial spirit brand left behind by the demonic sage. I'm friends with the demonic sage. If I ask, he'll definitely give you the demonic sage's inheritance. However, his son has appeared. Do you think he'll still give you the inheritance? Second uncle said slowly. How can the old goat be the son of the demonic sage? Second uncle, are you kidding me? That guy is so wretched. How does he look like the son of the demonic sage? Zhao Ritian said unhappily. Second uncle laughed coldly and said, You don't believe me? Do you know what the old goat's true form is? One of the 4 Archean evils, the Tao. It can tear apart a true phoenix and kill a true dragon. Do you dare to compete with him? One of the 4 Archean evils, the Tao Tai? Why is Ling Xiao so lucky? Even the Tao Tai has become his mount? Zhao Ritian's eyes were filled with jealousy. He looked at his own mount, the void golden-eyed beast. Although it was an ancient beast that could travel through the void, how could it compare to the Tao? As if sensing that its master was in a bad mood, the void golden-eyed beast turned its head around and blinked its big eyes at Zhao Ritian with a smile. But Zhao Ritian slapped the void golden-eyed beast's head. What are you looking at? Hurry up. Otherwise, I'll use you to make soup. The void golden-eyed beast's eyes were filled with grievance. It could only turn around and speed up. Don't be discouraged. I'll take you to find the mysterious yellow source gas and the Kuei water essence first. After you've passed the earth tribulation and the black water tribulation, you may not necessarily be unable to compete with the heaven's pride in this world. At that time, you'll be able to prove your Tao and become a supreme being. Second uncle consoled Zhao Ritian. I won't do it. My biggest wish is to beat Ling Xiao up. Zhao Ritian was extremely stubborn. You really can't be taught. Second eldest uncle was greatly angered by Zhao Ritian. Just like that, Zhao Ritian rode on the void golden-eyed beast and passed through a huge mountain range, heading towards the depths of the savage demon realm. On a clear blue sea, a green treasure ship landed on the surface of the sea. The surroundings were clear and sparkling, and water vapor filled the air. It was warm and comfortable. Ling Xiao sat on the deck, and the fishing rod in his hand was thrown into the sea. He was fishing. Luo Luo was running around the deck, pointing at the large fish that occasionally jumped out of the sea. She was extremely excited. She had never seen the sea before. This majestic sea was extremely beautiful in Luo Luo's eyes. Big Radish was lying on the deck, basking in the sun, revealing its white and fat belly. It looked listless. This fellow had swallowed a lot of Khanate soul essences. Until now, it was still suffering from indigestion and was lying there, pretending to be dead. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Maiden sat beside Ling Xiao. Her long hair and black dress fluttered in the wind. She stepped barefoot on the surface of the sea, and her jade-like toes looked perfectly round and perfect. Her entire body exuded a lazy aura, and she looked indescribable. Waves of a young girl's fragrance drifted into Ling Xiao's mouth and nose, bringing with it a different kind of alluring scent. Don't move. Ling Xiao slapped the 9-headed lion beneath him. This was Han Feng's original body. Under Ling Xiao's coercion, it finally became obedient, afraid that Ling Xiao would kill it. At this moment, the 9-headed lion was lying on the deck, and Ling Xiao was leaning on its furry belly, fishing in a very relaxed manner. It took the bait. The Phoenix Maiden's pleasantly surprised voice sounded. She was as excited as a child. Luo Luo also ran over with a face full of excitement. She saw Ling Xiao toss his fishing rod, and instantly, a 3-chi-long silver carp flew out of the sea. It drew an arc in the air and landed on the deck of the ship, where it jumped around wildly. Ling Xiao didn't use his cultivation, and purely relied on the fishing rod to fish. It could also be considered as training his mental state. Seeing the silver carp fly out, Big Radish, who was originally lying down and pretending to be dead, immediately got up and hurriedly hugged the silver carp. Its eyes were shining, and its saliva was about to flow out. "You're a quasi-divine medicine. Why do you like to eat fish?" Ling Xiao was a little speechless. Most of the fish he caught had entered Big Radish's mouth. Sometimes, Ling Xiao wondered why he was surrounded by a bunch of weirdos. The great bright King Ginseng actually liked to eat fish? If word got out, other people's eyeballs would probably fall to the ground. If I want to evolve into a supreme divine medicine, I need to gather the essence of heaven and earth and experience the mortal world. Only then can I attain the great Tao. Young man, you don't understand. Big Radish said proudly. I said that you're fat and you're panting? Go and take out that big pot for me. Today, I'll cook fish soup for you. Ling Xiao rolled his eyes and scolded jokingly. Fish soup? Pot? Good. After eating so many raw fish, there's finally a cooked one. Big Radish's eyes lit up. It hurriedly threw the silver carp on the deck and ran into the room, dragging out a big silver pot. This big silver pot was refined by Ling Xiao when he was bored. It was considered a treasure, and it was just nice to use to cook soup. During this period, Ling Xiao had caught many fish as well as some sea cucumbers, jellyfish, corals, seashells, and so on. These living creatures in the East Ocean contained rich vitality. Their meat was delicious, and they were the best ingredients. Ling Xiao washed and peeled the fish clean. Together with the sea cucumbers, seashells, and some other things, Ling Xiao also added a precious sage medicine and put them all into the big silver pot. Then, he activated the true devouring fire and started to cook the soup. Chapter 665. Not long after, the silver cauldron began to emit a rich sound that whetted everyone's appetite. Even the Phoenix Maiden, who had long abstained from eating, had a strange glint in her beautiful eyes. Her jade-like nose slightly twitched as she slowly walked over. Brother Ling Xiao, the fish soup you made is too fragrant. It's much more fragrant than mine. Luo Luo stared at Ling Xiao with her beautiful eyes. Her long eyelashes fluttered, and her eyes were filled with naivety and anticipation. Wait a while. Luo Luo, you must drink a few more bowls. Ling Xiao smiled. He sighed in his heart. Where did Li Chunfeng go? Why did he leave such a cute little girl with him? As his cultivation increased, Ling Xiao felt that although Luo Luo didn't have any cultivation, there was a mysterious energy in her body. It was like a life force, but it was also like the power of laws that protected Luo Luo. Is Luo Luo really Li Chunfeng's granddaughter? Ling Xiao guessed in his heart. He had more and more doubts. Not long after, the fish soup was ready. A fragrant smell wafted over and spread in all directions. Countless fishes in the surrounding sea smelled the fragrance and leaped up, forming a spectacle. The fish soup was snow-white and emitted a faint spiritual glow. The fish looked delicious and melted in one's mouth. There was also a strong surge of warmth that warmed up one's body. After all, Ling Xiao had added a supreme saint medicine to this pot of fish soup. Even the nine-headed lion's eyes were wide open. Just like the big radish, it was drooling all over the ground. Ling Xiao drank a bowl, and so did the Phoenix Lady and Luo Luo. The rest went into the mouths of the big radish and the nine-headed lion. For the sake of this pot of fish soup, these two unscrupulous fellows almost got into a fight. We should be reaching the eye of the East Sea soon. Ling Xiao looked at the darkening sky in the distance. Dark clouds were rolling, and a complicated look appeared in his eyes. Ling Xiao didn't plan to go to the Crystal Palace first. Instead, he went directly to the Eye of the East Sea. In his previous life, Ling Xiao had been to the Eye of the East Sea. Legend had it that the Eye of the East Sea was the place where the gods returned to. It was the place where the heavens and earth gathered, and where the gods and humans intersected. The spiritual energy of the heavens and earth was very abundant there. However, the sea eye of the eastern sea was like a cage. Countless rivers, and lakes in the world converged into the sea and eventually entered the sea eye. Based on Long Outyen and Long Zhantian's words, Ling Xiao could imagine that his cheap uncle, the current Dragon King of the Eastern Ocean Crystal Palace, was definitely an extremely stubborn person. If Ling Xiao were to go to the Crystal Palace, not only would the Dragon King not release Long Hanyan, he might even throw Ling Xiao into the eye of the East Sea in anger out of humiliation. This was very likely. The current Ling Xiao would definitely not be able to defeat the East Sea Dragon King. He might as well go to the East Sea Eye and save Long Hanyan first. Ling Xiao had always found it difficult to face his parents in this life. He always felt that his primordial spirit had occupied the original Ling Xiao's body. He did not have any feelings for Ling Zhen and Long Hanyan, so he did not know how to face Ling Zhen and Long Hanyan. However, this was karma. Since he had taken over Ling Xiao's body, he naturally had to bear Ling Xiao's responsibility and rescue Long Hanyan. Worst comes to worst, I'll leave them with more cultivation resources, and we'll meet less in the future. Ling Xiao laughed bitterly in his heart. War God Continent, in a mysterious small world. Divine mountains that were tens of thousands of feet tall rose and fell continuously, soaring into the clouds. Everywhere was emitting a mysterious and ancient aura. This world was incomparably huge and ancient. Many ancient ferocious beasts and rare birds could be seen in the mountains, absorbing the essence of heaven and earth and emitting a powerful aura. In an ancient bronze temple, chaotic aura lingered and mysterious runes were dazzling. More than 10 figures with powerful auras were in the temple. An old and indifferent voice slowly sounded in the main hall. After countless years of deduction, the goddess has finally been found. Let immortal General Wuchang make a trip and bring this drop of God's blood to the eye of the East Sea to bring the goddess back. Bright light shone in the void as a drop of God's blood fell from the sky, emitting endless radiance. As you command. In the divine shop, among the dozens of powerful figures, an expert who was wearing black armor and emitting a powerful aura walked out. He bowed respectfully and received the drop of God's blood before leaving the bronze temple. Eye of the East Sea. This was a huge whirlpool, as if a huge hole had appeared in the sea. Endless seawater gathered and poured into the huge hole. Monstrous water vapor filled the air. The eye of the sea was like an eye, deep and dark. No one knew where it led to. In the sky, dark clouds rolled and blazing lightning flashed. This sea region was like a prison, emitting an aura that made one's heart palpitate. Ling Xiao traveled on the East Sea for more than a month in the Void Treasure Ship and finally arrived near the Eye of the East Sea. He had everyone enter the Heavenly God Stone and drove the Heavenly God Stone into the Eye of the Eastern Sea. In the huge eye of the sea, endless water rushed down. It was unknown how deep it was. Ling Xiao had no idea where Long Hanyan was suppressed. He could only drive the God's Stone and slowly search for her. Under the eye of the sea, it was like a huge underwater world. Endless water attribute spiritual energy surged, emitting powerful energy waves. There's the aura of experts over there? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. He felt that not far ahead, there were two very obscure auras of experts. Ling Xiao instantly drove the God's Stone and turned it into a water droplet. He mixed in the vast seawater and moved forward. Rumble. Waves surged and black water filled the air. It was like a huge underground ocean. Ling Xiao could vaguely see an old man in a black robe and an old man in a white robe sitting cross-legged in front of the black ocean. Their bodies emitted an obscure and powerful dragon's might. Experts of the dragon tribe? Ling Xiao's eyes flashed. The aura of the God's Stone was restrained to the extreme. It stopped 1,000 feet away from the Black Sea. The two old men looked very tall. They had a childish face and white hair. Their faces were dignified. Their eyes were slightly closed and their breathing was like thunder. The surrounding black essence surged. Both of them are half-step to supremes of the tribulation of the four symbols? Ling Xiao was shocked. He did not expect the cultivation of the two old men of the dragon tribe to be so strong. They were close to the supreme realm. That Black Sea is like a prison. Could it be that Long Hanyan is imprisoned here? Chapter 666. Kuei water essence was everywhere in the Black Sea. This was the innate water attribute spiritual qi, which was extremely pure. One would have to pay a great price to buy a drop of Kuei water essence in the outside world. The Kuei water essence here could be described as a sea. Ling Xiao could feel that there was a faint fluctuation of an ancient formation, which was extremely powerful. It was difficult for ordinary people to break into this place. Even if a sovereign expert wanted to break in, he would have to pay a great price. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The Black Sea seemed to be filled with thunderbolts and emitted a bone-piercing cold air. Ling Xiao could faintly feel that there was a figure in it. Is that Long Hanyan? Ling Xiao's gaze was a little complicated, and an indescribable feeling spread in his heart. Rumble. At this moment, the sea water boiled violently, and a dazzling light spread out, as if a huge sun had sunk into the sea water. In the distance, a young man in golden armor, covered in red light, strolled over. He was surrounded by a monstrous killing intent. Sky-scorching demon emperor? Ling Xiao was shocked. He did not expect to meet sky-scorching demon emperor here. Behind the sky-burning demon emperor were two black-robed old men. Their demonic auras soared into the sky, and their auras were incomparably powerful. They were actually not much weaker than the two old men from the dragon tribe. They were also experts that had passed the four symbols tribulation. At this moment, sky-scorching demon emperor's aura seemed to have become more condensed. He had recovered from the serious injuries he had suffered in the battle with Ling Xiao, and there were signs of him improving. Sky-scorching demon emperor? What are you doing here? The two elders from the dragon tribe suddenly opened their eyes and looked coldly at sky-scorching demon emperor with a trace of hostility in their eyes. Elders, His Majesty, the Dragon King, allowed me to visit Sister Han Yen once a year. Don't you know that? Open the Blackwater cage. Sky-scorching demon emperor glanced at the two elders from the dragon tribe and said, Humph, the eldest princess will not agree with you. Sky-scorching demon emperor, I advise you to give up. The black-robed old man said coldly. However, together with the white-robed old man, rays of light spread out from their hands and opened the Blackwater cage. The black ocean suddenly emitted a bright light. Dozens of rays of light soared into the sky and faintly intertwined into a huge cage. Finally, the light flashed and slowly dimmed down. Sister Han Yen, I've come to see you again. The sky-scorching demon emperor smiled as a gentle look appeared in his eyes. While in the black ocean, waves spread out and a black light flickered. Then, a woman in white slowly flew out. Why are you doing this? A faint sigh was heard as the woman in white floated above the Black Sea. She looked to be in her 30s. Her white clothes fluttered in the wind, and her face was beautiful. She had an indifferent and gentle temperament. However, her face looked very pale and haggard, which made people feel pity for her. A powerful dragon's aura emanated from her body. Ling Xiao could sense that this white-clothed woman's cultivation had already reached the half-supreme being realm. As for Ling Xiao, the moment he saw her, he felt his entire body tremble. A feeling of blood connection welled up in his heart. She is my mother? Ling Xiao felt a little incredulous. In his previous life, he was an orphan and had never seen his parents. In this life, Ling Xiao had occupied Ling Zhao's physical body and had never seen Ling Zhen and Long Han Yen as his parents. He had only seen them as a part of his responsibility. But the moment he laid eyes on Long Han Yen, his entire body began to tremble. It was a kind of bloodline connection that could not be severed. Even his primordial spirit was trembling slightly. Didn't I possess the original Ling Xiao? Why do I still have this feeling? I didn't possess him in this life, but I have truly stepped into the reincarnation cycle? Ling Zhao's body trembled, and his eyes were filled with complicated emotions. His sea of consciousness shone brightly. His primordial spirit sat cross-legged in the void. The reincarnation superpower that Panguchu had imparted to him began to shine brightly. Ling Zhao's body was reflected in it, and he gradually saw his origin. Suddenly, Ling Xiao realized that the Ling Xiao of this life was himself. He had truly stepped into the reincarnation cycle. It was only when he was 15 years old that he awakened the innate wisdom of his previous life. Long Hanyan and Ling Zhen were his parents. Otherwise, there was no way to explain why his blood and primordial spirit had such an inexplicable sense of intimacy and admiration. Ling Xiao had been avoiding it, but when he saw Long Hanyan for the first time, he suddenly realized that Long Hanyan was his mother. The karma of this life could not be severed, nor could it be severed. Hanyan, are you still so stubborn? Ling Zhen is just a mortal. What's so good about him? Why are you so infatuated with him? You're even willing to endure the bone-chilling cold in the eye of the sea for 20 years? As for him, he didn't even come to look at you. The sky-scorching demon emperor suddenly became furious. His eyes were bloodshot as he stared at Long Hanyan. Your Highness, please conduct yourself with dignity. Ling Zhen is my husband, and always will be. We can only blame ourselves for meeting him too late. I can only let you down. Long Hanyan's eyes turned cold as she said stubbornly. She knew that the sky-scorching demon emperor had visited her almost every year for the past 20 years, trying to change her mind. However, the longer she was imprisoned in the eye of the East Sea, the more she missed Ling Zhen and the child. This kind of longing was so painful that it made her even more clear-headed. Hanyan, it was me who met you first. If you hadn't run away from the marriage 20 years ago, you would have been my wife. How could a mortal like Ling Zhen deserve it? The sky-scorching demon emperor's eyes were filled with bloody light as he said with a trace of pain. I don't want others to decide my own marriage. Fentian, I know your feelings for me, but I'm sorry, my heart can't accommodate anyone else. Long Hanyan said slowly. What if Ling Zhen dies? If he dies, will you marry me? The sky-scorching demon emperor suddenly raised his head and looked at Long Hanyan as he said word by word. Long Hanyan's expression changed as she said, Fentian, what are you trying to do? If you dare to hurt Ling Zhen, I'll never forgive you for the rest of my life. Hanyan, I'll definitely catch Ling Zhen and the child in your 8 desolates region. You know what I'm capable of. It's been 20 years, my patience is running out. If I, the sky-scorching demon emperor, can't have it, then no one can. I'll destroy it with my own hands. There was a trace of madness in the sky-scorching demon emperor's eyes. He didn't know that the sky-scorching demon emperor, who was usually scheming and expressionless, would lose his composure when he saw this woman. Especially the more Long Hanyan defended Ling Zhen, the more jealous he became. Chapter 667. Sky-scorching demon emperor, you're crazy. Long Hanyan's eyes were filled with disbelief. In an instant, her face turned pale. Apparently, sky-scorching demon emperor's words had hit her soft spot. I'm crazy. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have become like this. You forced me to do this, you forced me to do this. Sky-scorching demon emperor's eyes were red, revealing a trace of madness. Sky-scorching demon emperor, if you dare to hurt them, I'll kill you to avenge them. Long Hanyan's eyes were extremely cold. She looked at sky-scorching demon emperor as if he was her enemy. Kill me? Sky-scorching demon emperor felt a stab of pain in his heart. He laughed and said, You? Long Hanyan, you'll never be able to kill me. When I catch Ling Zhen and your child, I'll torture them 1,000 times, 10,000 times in front of you. You're crazy. Long Hanyan's eyes revealed a trace of hatred. She exuded a vast and powerful aura as if she was going to break the Blackwater prison. Buzz. The black water surged around her. Mysterious and ancient runes filled the air and bound Long Hanyan tightly, making it impossible for her to leave the prison. The Blackwater prison was set up by the Dragon King of the East Sea. With Long Hanyan's strength, there was no way she could break free. Long Hanyan, just you wait. Soon, your family will be reunited. Sky-scorching demon emperor laughed wildly and turned to leave the sea eye. In the god stone, Ling Zhao's eyes revealed a trace of cold killing intent. Sky-scorching demon emperor had completely offended him. Just as Ling Xiao was about to rush out of the god's stone and kill sky-scorching demon emperor at all costs, a clear and angry voice was heard. Sky-scorching demon emperor, how dare you bully my aunt? I'll kill you. Rumble. The four seas surged as if they were about to boil. Bright light illuminated the Black Sea. A golden fist radiance swept across the sky and blasted towards sky-scorching demon emperor with monstrous divine power. It was a little boy who looked like he was carved out of jade. He looked to be no more than 5 or 6 years old. His big eyes were very clear, but at this moment he looked very angry. He appeared to be very violent, and his entire body was shrouded in golden light. A shocking dragon roar resounded, and the surrounding void trembled. The strength of his physical body was terrifying to the extreme. Long Outyen? Ling Xiao had a strange look in his eyes. This guy was Long Outyen. He did not expect Long Outyen to still look like a 5 or 6-year-old after a few years. It was as if he had not grown up. But Long Outyen's cultivation? Ling Xiao could not help but secretly click his tongue. This fellow already possessed the battle prowess of a demon king before this year. Now, he had actually reached the level of a demon emperor. Moreover, his true dragon bloodline had been completely unleashed. It was extremely terrifying. Ling Xiao could feel that even a demon royal would be blasted apart by Long Outyen. Comparisons were odious indeed. The legendary pure-blooded true dragon was truly terrifying. Long Outyen? Go away and play. Sky-scorching demon emperor's eyes flashed with a strange look. He slapped out and instantly shattered Long Outyen's fist print. Then, he slammed Long Outyen to the ground. He grabbed Long Outyen's neck with one hand and lifted him up. Let go of me, you big bad guy. Long Outyen's face turned red. He bared his fangs and brandished his claws. He struggled violently, and his eyes were full of anger. After all, he was too young, and the gap between his cultivation and sky-scorching demon emperors was too big. Moreover, sky-scorching demon emperor was a pure-blooded fire Qilin, who was not weaker than him. Therefore, he was easily suppressed by sky-scorching demon emperor. Sky-scorching demon emperor, what are you doing? Let go of Outyen. Long Hanyan's eyes revealed a trace of anxiety as she shouted hurriedly. During the 20 years of loneliness, everyone was forbidden to get close to Long Hanyan. Only Long Outyen, the little tyrant, ignored the Dragon King's ban and often came to the East Sea to visit his aunt. When Long Hanyan saw Long Outyen, it was as if she had seen her own child. Her heart was filled with infinite maternal love. Hanyan, you've disappointed me. Sky-scorching demon emperor took a deep look at Long Hanyan and threw Long Outyen down. He turned into a stream of light and left the East Sea. My little ancestor, why are you here? Are you okay? The two elders from the dragon tribe did not dare to get involved in the matter between Long Hanyan and sky-scorching demon emperor. However, if anything happened to Long Outyen, they would not be able to redeem themselves even if they died 100 times. Therefore, they hurriedly ran over to ask, Humph, you two old guys, how could you let sky-scorching demon emperor bully my aunt? You even said that you're from the dragon tribe? You're a disgrace to the dragon tribe. Long Outyen did not give them any face. He snorted coldly and said indignantly. The two elders from the dragon tribe were embarrassed. They shook their heads with a wry smile. Ling Xiao originally wanted to rush out of the divine stone and fight with sky-scorching demon emperor. However, he suddenly realized that sky-scorching demon emperor seemed to have some unspeakable secret in coming to the East Sea. Moreover, the purpose of Ling Xiao's trip was to rescue Long Hanyan. Sky-scorching demon emperor was not easy to deal with. If the battle attracted the experts from the Crystal Palace, it would be troublesome. Therefore, Ling Xiao suppressed the murderous intent in his heart and did not make a move. Outyen, didn't you say that you were grounded by Big Brother and were not allowed to come out? Why are you here? Long Hanyan looked at Long Outyen in surprise. Long Outyen said nonchalantly, Aunt, I sneaked out when the old man was not around. Didn't you want to know about Ling Xiao? Aunt, I found out about Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao? Long Hanyan's body trembled and there was a glimmer of radiance in her eyes. Aunt, after I saw you the last time, I went to the 8 Desolates region to look for cousin Ling Xiao. As expected, I found him, Long Outyen proudly told her how he escaped from the Crystal Palace, how he boarded the underworld ship, and how he went to the Eight Desolates region to look for Ling Xiao. Long Hanyan's beautiful eyes were filled with radiance. She seemed to remember everything. She listened very seriously. When she heard about Ling Xiao's exceptional talent, she was shocked and happy. When she heard that Ling Xiao had fallen into the reincarnation sea and his life was unknown, her face turned pale. Ling Xiao did not go out from the divine stone. He looked at Long Outyen and Long Hanyan quietly. He could feel Long Hanyan's worry and deep motherly love. Ling Xiao, your mother seems to be very concerned about you. Don't you want to go out and meet her? Phoenix Woman said softly. Inside the heavenly stone, there was a void mirror that reflected everything that was happening in the outside world. Every move of Long Outyen and Long Hanyan was seen by the Phoenix Maiden. Wait a little longer. Chapter 668. But you don't have to worry, Aunt. Cousin is a genius with great fortune. How could he die in the reincarnation sea? You might not know this, but the sky-burning demon emperor was so arrogant just now, but he was beaten like a dog by Cousin in the holy ground. Long Outyen saw that Long Hanyan's expression was not right and quickly explained. When he heard about the sky-burning demon emperor, his eyes were filled with indignation. What? The sky-burning demon emperor could not defeat Ling Xiao? Long Hanyan's eyes were filled with disbelief. She was extremely shocked and could not calm down. Who was the sky-burning demon emperor? The young master of the Sky Demon Palace, the pure-blooded Fire Qilin, was a pure-blooded divine beast like Long Outyen. He could be said to be unparalleled in the world. His talent was unparalleled, and he was much stronger than the peerless physiques and bloodlines of the human race. A pure-blooded divine beast, which meant that as long as he did not die, he was destined to become a supreme deity. However, the sky-burning demon emperor was defeated by Ling Xiao. It was unbelievable. Long Hanyan still remembered that when she left 20 years ago, Ling Xiao was still a baby in swaddling clothes. Who would have thought that the baby who was abandoned by his mother would grow to such a stage in 20 years? Xiao must have suffered a lot over the years. Long Hanyan's voice was trembling, and there was a trace of sparkling tears in the corner of her eyes. Isn't that so? Who am I, Long Outyen? I'm not afraid of the old man, but I admire Cousin Ling Xiao. When he mentioned Ling Xiao, Long Outyen's eyes were filled with admiration. When we were in the reincarnation sea, Cousin fell into the reincarnation sea to save us. Fortunately, the master of the Moon Palace passed by and saved us. That crazy woman from the Mountain of Flames happened to be at the Moon Palace, so she brought me back to the Mountain of Flames and sent me back to the Crystal Palace. After that, I was grounded by the old man. Long Outyen's eyes were filled with indignation. What crazy woman! You have no respect for your elders. The master of the Mountain of Flames almost became your father's wife. Long Hanyan glared at him and said in annoyance, "The old man's wife?" Fortunately, she did not succeed. Otherwise, where would I be? Let's continue to talk about Cousin Ling Xiao. Long Outyen mumbled softly. Although Long Outyen was grounded, the series of things that Ling Xiao did after that was simply too shocking. It shook the entire War God continent. Especially in the Heavenly God Stone, where he gambled with other heroes, participated in the Heavenly God Convention, and killed geniuses and defeated geniuses. Later on, he displayed his invincible might in the Holy Ground, killing many peerless geniuses of the Holy Land of the Martial Way. In the final battle, he defeated the heaven-burning demon emperor and obtained the demon sage's inheritance. This series of events had already spread throughout the War God continent. When Long Zhantian returned to the Crystal Palace, Long Outyen pestered him to tell him about the Holy Ground. After hearing about Ling Xiao's achievements, Long Outyen regretted not sneaking out. Otherwise, he would have been able to witness Ling Xiao's glory in the Holy Ground. Xiao, he is indeed the same as his father. His talent is peerless. I never thought that he would be able to reach this step. Long Hanyan's face was filled with a gentle and loving smile, with a faint sense of pride. Her heart was also shaken by Long Outyen's narration. It was as if she had followed Long Outyen and seen her son coming to the War God continent, killing geniuses, defeating geniuses, dominating the world, and being invincible. "Aunt, you don't have to worry." Cousin told Big Brother in the Holy Ground that he will come to the Crystal Palace after he finishes his business in the Holy Ground. It should be about time. At that time, you will be able to reunite with your son. Long Outyin said happily. Come to the Crystal Palace? No way. Long Hanyan's expression suddenly changed. She said nervously, Outyin, you must find a way to inform Xiao. Don't let him come to the Crystal Palace. Your father is so stubborn. He dislikes Lingzhen very much. If he sees Xiao, he might be furious and do something to Xiao. It can't be? Long Outyin said in disbelief. No matter what, cousin is still the old man's nephew. If he dares to do anything to cousin, I will pluck out his beard. You don't understand, Outyin. Your father is too stubborn. No one can change his mind. Long Hanyan sighed softly. Suddenly, Long Hanyan seemed to have thought of something and asked, Outyin, has Xiao awakened the dragon bloodline? His talent is so strong. He should have awakened the dragon bloodline, right? As long as he has the heavenly dragon bloodline, he is considered a member of the dragon clan. I believe your father will not make things difficult for him. Dragon bloodline? When I saw cousin, he had not awakened it yet. But aunt, I can feel that the dragon bloodline in cousin's body may be stronger than mine. Long Outyin said very seriously. Stronger than you? How is that possible? Long Hanyan found it hard to believe. She herself was merely of the heavenly dragon bloodline, and Lingzhen was of the human race. They did not have any amazing bloodline. How could the union of the two of them give birth to a talent that surpassed the heavenly dragon bloodline? It was already very impressive to be able to maintain the heavenly dragon bloodline. The union of the dragon clan and the human race gave birth to descendants with mixed bloodlines. This was also one of the reasons why the Dragon King was so angry at the union of Long Hanyan and Lingzhen. I can't be sure, but if the dragon bloodline in cousin's body awakens, it will at least be the true dragon bloodline. Long Outyin said with his head tilted. This is too unbelievable. Long Hanyan laughed bitterly. Her heart was in turmoil, and she could not remain calm. The two elders from the dragon tribe were also dumbfounded at this moment. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. The eldest princess's human son was so monstrous? The sky-burning demon emperor was such a monstrous genius, but he was defeated by him. Could it be that the boy had already become a supreme being? Thinking that the eldest princess's son was only 20 years old, and they were already so old. They had lived for hundreds and thousands of years to achieve their current cultivation, they were all ashamed. Following Long Outyen's narration, Long Hanyan's face glowed with vigor. It was a state of seeing hope. Perhaps, it would not be long before she could see Xiao. Thinking of this, Long Hanyan's heart was nervous and afraid. Rumble. At this moment, the sea waters surged violently. Countless runes exploded in an instant. Streaks of terrifying aura descended from the sea surface. Their bodies were emitting cold, dark, and evil auras. Ha! Long Hanyan is indeed here. I didn't expect Long Outyen to be here too. Heaven is on my side. Little ones, take them all down. A savage and cold voice sounded. Chapter 669. Rumble. Black mist filled the air, emitting a pungent stench. More than a dozen black-robed figures with powerful auras descended from the eye of the sea. Each of them looked cold and their eyes were bloodthirsty. The leader was a young man in a black robe. He was tall and slender, and his body was surrounded by black light. His hair was actually a black poisonous snake, and his face looked extremely cold. He stared at Long Hanyan and Long Outyen, and his eyes were full of cold, killing intent. The black-robed youth's cultivation had reached the half-step supreme being realm, and there was a faint supreme divine aura around him. He should have passed the earth tribulation. Behind him, there were 4 black-robed old men. They were all half-step supremes who had passed the tribulation of the 4 symbols. There were also a dozen emperors. Their auras were powerful, and their killing intent was pure. It was obvious that they were decisive people. 9-headed snake clan? How could you enter the eye of the East Sea? There is a Xianming demon slayer array outside. You can't enter here. The black-robed elder from the dragon clan said coldly. His face was ugly. In the vast East Sea, although the Crystal Palace was the overlord of the sea, there was also the competition between the powerful nine-headed snake clan and the dragon clan. There had been countless bloody battles over the years, and all of them wanted to be the only supreme being in the vast East Sea. The nine-headed snake clan was the descendant of the ancient ferocious beast, Shangliu. They were extremely powerful. Although the strongest in the clan might not be a match for the dragon clan, the nine-headed snake clan had a strong reproductive ability. There were many experts in the clan. Over the years, the dragon clan had been losing in the war with the nine-headed snake clan. Although Long Hanyan was suppressed in the eye of the East Sea, it was a place where thousands of waters gathered. It contained the origin of the East Sea. Not only was there the black-robed and white-robed elders of the dragon clan, but there was also the Xianming Demon Slayer array. The Xianming Demon Slayer array was an ancient divine array that was specially used to suppress the nine-headed snake clan. Even a supreme being expert could not break in. If Ling Xiao had not been hiding in the Celestial Stone, and the Celestial Stone was a powerful divine artifact, he would have been killed by the Xianming Demon Slayer formation without triggering it. Nine-headed reptile, you have wanted to capture me for a long time, right? Aren't you afraid that my father will raise the nine-headed snake clan to the ground? Long Outyin said as he pointed at the black-robed young man. His eyes were filled with fury. Although the Hydra clan had grown stronger over the years, the strongest in the clan was only a supreme being. However, the master of the Crystal Palace, the Dragon King of the East Sea, was a titled supreme being. If he had not been tied down by important matters over the years, he would have wiped out the Hydra clan long ago. East Sea Dragon King? Naturally, there would be someone to deal with him. But you won't be able to see it. Just wait until I capture you and devour your true dragon bloodline. Then, I'll be able to completely evolve into an ancient Shangliu. When that time comes, I'll be a paragon, and the East Sea Dragon King will be nothing. At the mention of the Dragon King of the East Sea, a hint of fear flashed across the black-robed young man's eyes. Capture me? Xiangjie, do you really think that you can capture me? Do you believe that I will beat you up so badly that even your mother won't be able to recognize you? Long Outyin looked at him with disdain and said arrogantly, Long Outyin, I know that your true dragon body is powerful, so I don't plan to fight with you. If you have the ability, beat the 4 great elders of the Xiang Lu clan first. Xiangjie said with a sneer. Boom. The 4 black-robed old men behind him seemed to be exuding a lethargic aura. Their faces were full of wrinkles, and half of their bodies were about to be buried in the soil. Their turbid eyes were flickering with a sharp light, and they seemed to be very dangerous. The 4 of them walked out at the same time, and suddenly, a powerful and unparalleled aura pervaded the air. It locked onto the black-robed and white-robed great elders of the Dragon Clan, Long Outyin and Long Hanyan. Outyin, we'll delay these bastards. You quickly return to the Crystal Palace. Don't fall into the hands of these bastards. The black-robed and white-robed great elders revealed a trace of determination in their eyes. Dragon's aura pervaded the air, and a powerful aura erupted from their bodies. They were about to rush towards the experts of the nine-headed snake clan. Want to escape? Impossible. Xiangjie sneered. A black light spurted out from his palm, and suddenly, an ancient scroll spread out in an instant and shrouded everyone. 1,000 Revolution Array? You actually brought the 1,000 Revolution Array? The black-robed great elder exclaimed, and a trace of despair appeared in his eyes. The 1,000 Revolution Array was the supreme weapon of the nine-headed snake clan. It was the treasure of the clan, and it was incomparably mysterious. It was said that there were thousands of layers of space, and it was mysterious and unfathomable. Xiangjie actually brought the 1,000 Revolution Array, which meant that he had been planning for a long time. He was determined to capture Long Outyin and Long Hanyan. 1,000 Revolution Array, break for me. A sharp light flashed in Xiangjie's eyes, and suddenly, a powerful and vast divine light fluctuation burst out from the 1,000 Revolution Array. It contained a destructive power. Gotcha! Above the Black Sea, endless runes shattered, and the divine chains of order exploded. The Black Sea cage that had imprisoned Long Hanyen was instantly broken. Ha! Long Hanyen, the Dragon King of the East Sea, is really ruthless. He actually had the heart to suppress his sister here for 20 years. I have rescued you, how are you going to thank me? Xiang Jie laughed, and his eyes were full of arrogance. In his opinion, the outcome was already decided. With the 1,000 Revolution Array sealing the void, the black-robed Great Elder and the white-robed Great Elder would definitely die under the siege of the 4 Great Elders, and Long Outyen and Long Hanyen would definitely be captured alive. 9-headed Snake Clan, damn you! There was a cold glint in Long Hanyen's eyes. She leaped over, like a white divine rainbow, extremely fast. Yellow and black light filled the air around her, and a white palm print headed toward Xiang Jie. What? The tribulation of 2 elephants? Xiang Jie's expression changed. He did not expect Long Hanyen's cultivation to be so terrifying. After being suppressed in the East Sea for 20 years, her cultivation had broken through several realms, and she had already passed the tribulation of Blackwater. That cold, murderous intent locked onto him. Xiang Jie did not even think about it, and instantly leaped back. Don't hurt my young lord. A great elder of the 9-headed Snake Clan flashed and blocked in front of Xiang Jie. His whole body exuded an evil and gloomy aura, and his palm was pressed toward Long Hanyen. Bang! The palm wind exploded, and Long Hanyen's face turned pale. In an instant, she was blasted dozens of feet away and landed on the ground. Although she had passed the tribulation of 2 elephants, she was still no match for the great elder of the 9-headed Snake Clan who had passed the tribulation of 4 elephants. Xiang Jie, you bastard, my father will not let you go. I'll kill you. Seeing that Long Hanyen was repelled, Long Outyen's eyes revealed a trace of anger. The golden blood chi around him surged, and he punched toward Xiang Jie. Gotcha! The golden fist print contained unparalleled divine power, and this punch made Xiang Jie's face change slightly. Chapter 670. Xiang Jie did not move, but a black-robed old man teleported over. Black light spurted out from his palm and turned into a black vortex, instantly neutralizing the power of the punch. The black-robed old man's eyes flashed as he grabbed at Long Outyen. Stop! The black-robed old man and the white-robed old man's expression changed drastically. Long Outyen could not be harmed. Since they had already fallen into such a situation, they had to save Long Outyen even if they had to die. Rumble! Dragon aura filled their bodies as powerful bloodline aura surged out. Their eyes were filled with madness as they executed their powerful super skills and charged at Xiang Jie. Courting death! The other 2 black-robed old men's eyes flashed with killing intent as they charged at the black-robed old man and the white-robed old man. The 4 half-step supreme beings had passed the 4 symbols tribulation. Each of their combat strength was extremely terrifying, and an intense battle broke out in an instant. 9-headed Snake Clan? Courting death. In the divine stone, Ling Zhao's eyes flashed with killing intent. 10,000 years ago, Ling Zhao remembered that the overlord of the Eastern Sea was the Crystal Palace. The Dragon Clan had dominated the Eastern Sea and suppressed billions of sea tribes. At that time, he had not heard of the 9-headed Snake Clan. Now, after 10,000 years, the 9-headed Snake Clan had grown to the point where they could stand shoulder to shoulder with the Dragon Clan. Now, they even had designs on Long Hanyen and Long Outyen. Ling Zhao faintly felt that the 9-headed Snake Clan must have the support of other forces behind them. Is it the Heavenly Beast Temple? The Sky-Burning Demon Emperor? Ling Zhao's eyes flashed as he thought of the Sky-Burning Demon Emperor who had just left. Since the Dragon Clan had set up the Xianming Demon Slayer array in the Eye of the Sea, the 9-headed Snake Clan could not have infiltrated silently unless there was a traitor. Ling Zhao had enough reason to suspect the Sky-Burning Demon Emperor. Ling Zhao steered the divine stone to Xiang Jie's side as he pondered. As the saying goes, capture the ringleader first to capture the bandits. Ling Zhao was ready to capture Xiang Jie first. Rumble! There was a thunderous explosion as golden divine light swept across. Ling Xiao instantly came out from the divine stone and slapped at the back of Xiang Jie's head. This palm strike was extremely fast, like a sudden clap of thunder and lightning, instantly hitting Xiang Jie's head. Before, Xiang Jie had been smiling, thinking that there was no suspense in the outcome of this battle. He had been fantasizing about capturing Long Outyin and extracting his true dragon bloodline. Then his bloodline would evolve and become an ancient Shangliu, allowing him to slaughter his enemies and shake the world. In the end, Ling Xiao's sudden appearance caused his vision to darken. He couldn't help but roar. "Who is it? How dare you sneak attack me?" Xiang Jie was so angry that his entire body trembled. A blazing divine light rose from his body, wanting to shake Ling Xiao away. Rumble! A cold light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes as he unceremoniously threw a punch at Xiang Jie's stomach. Xiang Jie suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood, and his body immediately curled up like a lobster. Ling Xiao grabbed Xiang Jie's neck with one hand, his palm emitting a killing intent that was incomparably sharp. Instantly, a sense of fatal danger enveloped Xiang Jie, causing his entire body to tremble. His eyes were filled with terror. He didn't doubt in the slightest that so long as Ling Xiao willed it, Ling Xiao would probably be able to directly kill him in the next moment. Who is this person? Why is he hiding here? He didn't even discover the 1,000 revolution array. Let go of the young lord. Boy, do you want to die? Ling Xiao's sudden appearance had surprised and shocked everyone, especially the 4 elders of the 9-headed snake clan. Their eyes were cold and filled with cold killing intent as they berated Ling Xiao. All of you stop. Otherwise, don't blame me for killing him now. Ling Xiao smiled coldly. His eyes were incomparably sharp as he stared at the 4 elders without a trace of fear. Cousin? Is it really you? Aunt, it's cousin. He's cousin Ling Xiao. After Long Outyin saw Ling Xiao, his eyes suddenly revealed an incomparable look of surprise, and he hurriedly shouted. Long Hanyin's entire body trembled, and her eyes revealed an unbelievable look of surprise. She suddenly looked at Ling Xiao. It was a young man in snow-white clothes. His figure was tall and straight, and his black hair fluttered in the wind. His face was delicate and pretty, and his eyes were bright and wise. His entire body exuded a divine aura. This was the son that she yearned for day and night? He was Ling Xiao? Long Hanyin's entire body trembled, and her heart was surging with emotions. She was unable to control herself as she stared blankly at Ling Xiao. Suddenly, 2 streams of tears fell down. Long Outyin, come over quickly. Ling Xiao didn't dare to look into Long Hanyin's eyes. Seeing Long Hanyin's current appearance, Ling Xiao's heart was also shaken. But at this moment, facing a great enemy, he forcefully suppressed the waves in his heart and said calmly, "Okay, cousin." Long Outyin pulled Long Hanyin, and under the protection of the 2 elders in black and white robes, they vigilantly came behind Ling Xiao. The 4 elders of the 9-headed snake clan and those monarch realm experts all looked at each other in dismay. They didn't dare to make the slightest move. Xiang Jie was in Ling Xiao's hands, and they were simply afraid that Ling Xiao would really kill Xiang Jie. Boy, let go of our young master. Otherwise, even if you escape to the ends of the earth, you will definitely die. The 4 elders of the 9-headed snake clan berated with cold eyes. Threatening me? I'm not scared. After I confirm that we're safe, I will naturally let him go. Ling Xiao smiled faintly and looked calm and indifferent. Xiang Jie, right? Now, slowly put away the 1,000 revolution formation. Remember, don't play any tricks or I will directly kill you. Ling Xiao smiled and said in Xiang Jie's ear. In the center of his palm, a black light pervaded. The great soul destruction technique and the soul destruction needle instantly appeared in Xiang Jie's sea of consciousness and locked onto Xiang Jie's soul. As long as Xiang Jie made the slightest move, he would immediately kill him. Okay, I'll take it. Xiang Jie's face was very ugly, but he knew that he had no other choice. Even if he wanted to cut Ling Xiao into pieces, he could only obediently listen to him. Buzz. The 1,000 revolution formation flashed and turned into an ancient scroll and fell into Xiang Jie's hand. the surrounding scene of the Eye of the Sea was restored. Long Outyen, take them and leave here first. I'll go find you later. Ling Xiao heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Xiang Jie was afraid of death. Otherwise, he really didn't know how to deal with the situation in front of him. 4 half-step supreme beings, and all of them had passed the 4 symbols tribulation. Even Ling Xiao couldn't guarantee that he could take them down. Cousin, if we leave, what will you do? No, if we leave together. Long Outyen looked at Ling Xiao and said stubbornly, That's right. Xiao, young hero, if we leave together. I won't leave you here alone. Long Hanyan also suddenly raised her head and stared at Ling Xiao with a burning gaze. She took a deep breath and said, Mother, I'm not a young hero. I still like to hear you call me Xiao. Don't worry, you guys leave quickly. This group of chickens and pottery dogs can't do anything to me. Ling Xiao looked at Long Hanyan, and a bright smile suddenly appeared on his face. There was a glimmer of light in his eyes. Chapter 671. Mother? Hearing Ling Xiao's words, Long Hanyan's heart skipped a beat. She raised her head abruptly, her eyes filled with surprise and joy. Her eyes turned red in an instant. What did you call me? Long Hanyan's body trembled. She was so emotional that she could not control herself. 2 streams of tears flowed uncontrollably. Mother, I'm your Xiao. Listen to me. You and Outyin leave this place first. I have a way to escape. Ling Xiao took a deep breath and looked at Long Hanyan seriously. His eyes were full of smiles. At this moment, he finally dared to look straight into his heart. The black-robed and white-robed elders of the Dragon Clan looked as if they had seen a ghost. Their eyes were filled with disbelief. Long Outyen was just talking about Ling Xiao, and Ling Xiao appeared in the end? The eldest princess actually gave birth to such a demonic son? No one is allowed to leave. If you don't let go of our young master, you will all die. The elders of the 9-headed snake clan said coldly. Their eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent. The 4 elders emitted a monstrous murderous aura, locking Ling Xiao and the rest in place. If you want to die, come at me. Don't worry, as long as they leave safely, I'll let Xiang Jie go. Ling Xiao smiled coldly, his eyes filled with sharpness. He knew that the 9-headed snake clan did not dare to gamble with Xiang Jie's life. Capturing Xiang Jie was like grabbing their Achilles heel. As expected, the 4 elders' faces were filled with incomparable struggle. Their auras began to weaken. And let's go quickly. Cousin is very powerful. Even the sky-burning demon emperor is no match for him. These few old things will definitely not be able to stop him. We'll return to the Crystal Palace immediately to get reinforcements. If we're late, it'll be too late. Long Outyen whispered to Long Hanyan through telepathy. He was full of admiration and confidence for Ling Xiao. No matter what Ling Xiao said, he believed in Ling Xiao. All right, let's go. Long Hanyan's face was filled with struggle. She looked at Ling Xiao reluctantly, but her heart was also filled with pride. She knew that staying here would only be a burden to Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao could only escape with peace of mind if they left safely. Xiao, I'll be waiting for you at the Crystal Palace. Please be safe. Otherwise, even if I have to search the entire world, I will exterminate the Hydra clan. Long Hanyan suddenly glanced at Ling Xiao, her eyes filled with reluctance. However, the ice-cold killing intent in her voice made Xiang Jie and the Hydra clan's members feel a chill down their spines. Xiang Jie really wanted to cry but had no tears. Who would have thought that Ling Xiao, who had defeated the sky-burning demon emperor in the legends, was actually Long Hanyan's son? This was simply too unbelievable. Don't worry, mother, I will go to the Crystal Palace to find you soon. Ling Xiao smiled and gave them a reassuring look. Good. Let's go. Xiao, be careful. Long Hanyan also knew that the longer they delayed, the more likely it was that the Hydra clan's reinforcements would arrive. Now was the time to race against time. They had to quickly return to the Crystal Palace to ask for reinforcements. She took a deep look at Ling Xiao, then turned around and quickly left the East Sea Eye with Long Outyen and the 2 elders in black and white robes. Seeing Long Hanyen and Long Outyen leave, the evil Hydra clan's members did not dare to stop them. Their faces were ashen and they could only let them leave. Could they have left? Can you let go of our young master now? The great elder of the Hydra clan could not help but ask, his eyes blazing with murderous intent. Ling Xiao had no doubt that if he let Xiang Jie go now, the four of them would pounce on him and tear him to pieces. Don't worry, wait a little longer. They are not safe yet, Ling Xiao said with a smile. Although the powerhouses of the Hydra clan were furious and wanted to skin Ling Xiao alive, there was nothing they could do. Outside the East Sea, Long Hanyen, Long Outyen, and the two elders in black and white robes escaped. Aunt, are we returning to the Crystal Palace now? Long Outyen asked. It's too late to return to the Crystal Palace now. Outyen, blow the true dragon horn immediately and communicate with your father with the power of bloodline. Ask him to come here personally. Tell him that if he doesn't come, he will no longer be my brother. Long Hanyen said quickly, her eyes filled with coldness. True dragon horn? Yes, we can contact the old man directly. I forgot. Long Outyen's eyes lit up. He quickly took out a golden dragon horn from his storage treasure. This was a treasure that the Dragon King of the East Sea had refined for him. It could be connected through bloodline. No matter how far away they were, as long as he blew the true dragon horn, he would be able to contact the Dragon King of the East Sea immediately. Buzz. A loud, boundless, and ancient sound rang, as if it had pierced through the void. It had a unique fluctuation of dragon power, mysterious and unpredictable. Long Outyen's eyes were focused. A drop of golden blood spread out from his finger, forming a golden rune in the void. In an instant, it shone brightly. It was as if an ancient door had been opened. A golden mirror appeared in front of Long Outyen. A middle-aged man in a five-clawed golden dragon robe with a flat crown on his head. He had a heroic figure, as if he could support the heavens and the earth. His eyes were deep and majestic. He slowly looked at Long Outyen with a domineering aura that looked down on the world. He was the master of the East Sea Crystal Palace, the current Dragon King of the East Sea, Long Lai. Outyen, what's the matter? Long Lai said flatly. Old man, come and save me. If you don't come, I'm going to be killed. I don't know what those bastards from the nine-headed snake clan did. They broke the Shinming Demon Slayer Grand Array and want to kill me and my aunt. We're at the eye of the East Sea. Come quickly. When Long Outyen saw Long Lai, his eyes immediately revealed an incomparably pleasantly surprised expression as he hurriedly shouted. Nine-headed snake clan? You're courting death. Long Lai's eyes turned cold. It was as if a storm of killing intent was about to erupt. Even across the endless void, Long Outyen felt a chill run down his spine. Why did you escape on your own? See how I'll deal with you when I get back. That's not right. Didn't you guys escape from the eye of the East Sea? Quickly return to the Crystal Palace. I'll be right back. Long Lai glared at Long Outyen. Suddenly, he saw the scene behind Long Outyen and asked in surprise. It's my cousin. My cousin took Xiang Jie hostage to save us. Come quickly. If you don't come, my cousin will be killed by Xiang Jie. Long Outyen quickly shouted. Cousin? What cousin? Long Lai frowned slightly. Long Hanyen couldn't hold it in any longer. She rushed up and shouted at Long Lai, Long Lai, what kind of man are you? Outyen's cousin is my son, Ling Xiao. Hurry up and get over here. If Ling Xiao loses a single hair, I'll flip your Crystal Palace over. We're not leaving. If you don't come, we'll just let the nine-headed snake clan take us away. Chapter 672. Long Outyen was dumbfounded. His aunt, who was usually gentle and elegant, actually had such a fierce side to her? She actually pointed at the old man's face and scolded him? However, why did it feel so good to scold him? Long Outyen himself could not help but want to give it a try. Nonsense. Hurry back to the Crystal Palace. Leave Ling Xiao to me. Long Lai's face darkened as he scolded Long Hanyen and Long Outyen. Buzz. Before Long Hanyen and Long Outyen could say anything, the light mirror in front of them disappeared. Aunt, Are we returning to the Crystal Palace? The old man should be coming, right? Long Outyin asked. We're not going back. Let's go and find a place to hide first. If we return to the Crystal Palace like this, Long Lai, that bastard, might not come to save Ling Xiao. Believe me, there's nothing he can't do. Long Hanyen snorted coldly. She was filled with endless resentment towards her brother, Long Lai. Long Outyin nodded and followed Long Hanyen towards the eye of the sea. They would find a place to hide first and wait for Long Lai's arrival. The two elders in black and white robes looked at each other and laughed bitterly. In the entire Crystal Palace, only Long Hanyen and Long Outyin dared to speak to the Dragon King like this. Naturally, they hurriedly followed. Before the Dragon King arrived, they had to protect this great ant and the little ancestor. Buzz. Just as Long Outyin blew the real dragon horn, one of the elders of the nine-headed Hydra clan changed his expression. His eyes were filled with cold, murderous intent. Damn it, Long Outyin blew the real dragon horn? He had secretly left a trace of primordial spirit on Long Outyin's body. When Long Outyin blew the real dragon horn, he instantly felt it. Kid, let go of the young master. Otherwise, we'll kill you even if we have to risk our lives. The four elders closed in together. Their faces were cold and their eyes were filled with murderous intent. Ling Xiao, be obedient and let me go. My father is rushing over. When he arrives, it'll be your death. Xiang Jie said with a cold laugh. Ha! Since you want him so much, I'll return him to you. Ling Xiao glanced at the four great elders and suddenly burst into laughter. Divine light gushed out of his palms as he instantly stimulated the power of the great soul destruction technique and the soul destruction needle. He fiercely bombarded Xiang Jie's sea of consciousness and at the same time, kicked Xiang Jie towards the four great elders. Ah! Xiang Jie let out an incomparably miserable cry. Blood spurted out of his mouth as he was instantly sent flying. Kill him. The four great elders couldn't hold it in any longer. Murderous intent erupted from their bodies. Their eyes were extremely cold as they charged towards Ling Xiao. Xiang Jie was caught by the experts of the Hydra clan. They could see that Xiang Jie's face was deathly pale and his aura was extremely weak. More than half of his primordial spirit had already been destroyed. Ling Xiao's great soul-destroying technique and soul-destroying needle had destroyed more than half of Xiang Jie's primordial spirit. That kick had also shattered all of Xiang Jie's meridians. It could be said that even the gods would not be able to save him from such serious injuries. Even if he did not die, he would become an idiot. Rumble! The four great elders of the Hydra clan exuded an extremely terrifying aura. They were all super experts who had passed the tribulation of four symbols. Their bodies were Zhou Tian, and their eyes were filled with murderous intent. They could not wait to tear Ling Xiao into pieces. You old fogies want to kill me with just you? Today all of you will die. Ling Xiao smiled coldly, and his eyes revealed a monstrous sharpness. Buzz! The sky-devouring sword buzzed and trembled, emitting millions of blazing rays of light. Sword chi filled the air, and its sharpness was unparalleled. The surrounding seawater began to tremble violently. If you want to kill me, then come. Ling Xiao's sword slashed down, and the black waves exploded. Drops of seawater and sharp sword light condensed, instantly turning into millions of rays of sword chi. They suddenly fell towards the experts of the Hydra clan, containing a power that could destroy everything. Rumble! Black light arose around the four great elders as they slapped their palms down, and they instantly shattered more than half of the countless rays of sword chi. However, the Monarch Realm experts weren't so lucky. How terrifying was Ling Xiao's strength when he utilized the sky-devouring sword. In practically an instant, over a dozen Emperor Realm experts had their bodies pierced by the sword light, and they were blasted into a mist of blood. Even their soul cores weren't able to escape. Haha! Ling Xiao roared with laughter, and then he transformed into a ray of golden light that shot into the sky and flew towards the eye of the Eastern Ocean. Where do you think you're going? The four great elders' gazes were piercingly cold while flames of rage surged into the sky. All of them flashed up and chased after Ling Xiao. The battle at the bottom of the ocean affected Ling Xiao slightly, but the Hydra clan would be able to obtain a boost in strength. So, Ling Xiao left the depths of the eye of the ocean and arrived in the sky above the boundless ocean. Even though the 4 great elders of the Hydra clan had overcome the tribulation of 4 symbols, they were far inferior when compared to the heaven-scorched demon emperor. Moreover, they'd passed their prime, and their vital blood had declined slightly. Ling Xiao had the sky-devouring sword in his hand, so he wasn't afraid of the 4 great elders at all. Instead, he was filled with pride. He could even defeat the heaven-scorched demon emperor with his bare hands. Now that he had the sky-devouring sword in his hand, who in the world could withstand a single strike from him? Kill him! The 4 great elders looked at each other and pounced on Ling Xiao at the same time. Rumble! The 4 great elders' figures were like phantoms as they traversed the sky at an extremely fast speed. Their palms were gushing with black divine light as they slammed towards Ling Xiao. Kill! Ling Xiao's eyes were cold as the sky-devouring sword in his hand shook violently. He immediately shot up into the sky and performed a secret teleportation technique. The sky was filled with Ling Xiao's figure. The sky-devouring sword split into billions of sword light, and unparalleled as it slashed towards the 4 great elders. Boom! The black palm print was shattered by the sword light, and the terrifying Supreme Being's divine might swept out. It was pushed to the extreme by Ling Xiao, and the 4 elders' faces changed as they were forced to retreat. The sky-devouring sword was too sharp, and Ling Xiao, who had the sky-devouring sword, was a few times more powerful than when he did not have the sky-devouring sword. Moreover, the sky-devouring sword was refined by Ling Xiao, and he was able to command it as he wished. He could use it freely, and it was able to unleash the most powerful force. The 4 great elders had initially underestimated Ling Xiao, but they immediately realized how terrifying Ling Xiao was after the exchange of blows. It was no wonder that he was a peerless genius who could defeat the sky-burning demon emperor. This lad is too sick. Reveal your true form and form the heavenly demon god battle formation. Even if we can't kill him, we must trap him to death. One of the great elders instantly roared. Instantly, for terrifying roars that shook the heavens and the earth were heard. It was as if they were roaring at the heavens, and they contained a force that could destroy the heavens and the earth. The 4 great elders' bodies flashed with light, and they instantly turned into 4 strange 9-headed snakes. Their bodies were completely black, and they were at least 1,000 feet long. Their bodies were a few hundred feet thick, and they were like 4 huge mountains, exuding a ferocious and ominous aura. Chapter 673. And that's my cousin. Long Outyen, who was hiding not far away from the East Sea Eye, was originally observing the situation in the East Sea Eye. When he saw Ling Xiao fly out of the East Sea Eye and stand in the air, he immediately revealed a look of incomparable surprise. The 4 of them are all half-step supremes and have passed the 4 symbols tribulation. Will Xiao be in danger? There was a trace of worry in Long Hanyan's eyes. Long Outyen smiled and said, "And don't worry. Even the sky-burning demon emperor is no match for my cousin. These 4 old men are weak and their blood is not pure. How can they be my cousin's match? You're panicking out of concern." Princess Royal, the sword in Ling Xiao's hand should be a supreme weapon. With the protection of the supreme weapon and Ling Xiao's incredible combat strength, he should be safe. On the other hand, the 4 old men seem to be afraid of Ling Xiao. They have formed the celestial demon god battle formation. The white-robed elder smiled. By the way, while Ling Xiao is fighting with those 4 old fellows, why don't we go to the Eye of the East Sea and capture Xiang Jie and the rest of the Hydra clan? At that time, the Hydra clan won't dare to attack us. The black-robed elder's eyes lit up. That's a great idea. 2 elders, I'll have to trouble you to make a trip there and capture all those Hydra clan members. Long Hanyan's eyes lit up and she nodded. But we'll go now. The black-robed and white-robed elders looked at each other and smiled. They instantly hid their auras and flew carefully toward the East Sea Eye. Rumble! For gigantic 9-headed snakes surrounded Ling Xiao with monstrous waves. Demonic chi surged around their bodies, emitting a foul stench that assailed the nostrils. 4 black waves soared into the sky like pillars. They formed a bright curtain of light. Mysterious runes filled the air, and an ancient aura filled the air. A loud roar was heard. The 36 heads of the 4 nine-headed giant snakes opened their mouths at the same time and spat out a black divine light toward Ling Xiao. The black divine light intertwined and contained a destructive power. It sealed Ling Xiao up, down, left, and the void in all directions, trying to annihilate him. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and his entire body glowed. The heaven-devouring sword rose into the air and hovered beside him, spinning around him at high speed. When the 36 beams of divine light intertwined, Ling Xiao's body instantly erupted with a boundless sword light, shattering all the black divine light. Boom! Above the void, an ancient light sword swept across the world, emitting a power that could devour the heavens and the earth. Suddenly, it slashed towards the 4 nine-headed giant snakes. Rumble! Waves surged into the sky and the sea boiled. The terrifying sword light slashed onto the 9-headed giant snake's body, emitting the sound of metal clashing as sparks flew in all directions. That terrifying sharpness pierced through everything, causing the giant 9-headed snake to howl in pain. A terrifying and vast aura pressed down on Ling Xiao, as if it was going to crush Ling Xiao. The 4 nine-headed giant snakes roared into the sky at the same time, spitting out a mouthful of essence blood. Suddenly, the sky changed color, and the sun and the moon dimmed. A black divine light pierced through the clouds and fell from the 9th heaven, faintly forming a black figure with a monstrous aura. It was also a 9-headed snake. Its body was pitch black, and its 18 eyes were emitting blood-red light. It had a ferocious, ancient, and violent aura. Using the Tiangang Demon God Battle formation to condense the real body of Xianglu, these old guys are willing to sacrifice their essence blood. They are crazy. Long Outyen's eyes revealed a trace of seriousness. Xianglu was an ancient fierce beast, a peerless expert comparable to a deity. Even if it was only a trace of the real body of Xianglu, it was still extremely terrifying. The 4 elders had gone completely mad. They wanted to use the real body of Xianglu to kill Ling Xiao. The real body of Xianglu? It's a pity that your bloodline is impure. What you condense is just something that is neither human nor ghost. Ling Xiao looked at the 9-headed snake above his head with a trace of disdain in his eyes. Rumble! The 9-headed snake, which was the real body of Xianglu, seemed to be infuriated by Ling Xiao. It instantly roared, and 18 rays of blood-red divine light shot out from its 18 eyes. Then, a sky full of demonic chi rushed toward Ling Xiao, drowning him in an instant. The ferocious aura made Long Outyen and Long Hanyen, who were far away, change their expressions. Clang! At this moment, a bright light shone, as if it had torn the sky full of demonic chi apart. It was a ray of sword light. It was dazzling and filled with boundless divine light. It was as if it had enveloped the entire sky. No one could describe the brilliance of the sword, and no one could describe the style of the sword. The sword came across the sky like a ray of light that broke the chaos. The real body of Xianglu was instantly cut in half from the middle. The sky full of demonic chi and blood-red light was instantly devoured. The eyes of the 4 giant 9-headed snakes were filled with disbelief. They spat out mouthfuls of blood and their auras became extremely weak. If they had not tried their best to hold on, the heavenly Dipper Demon God and the War God would have been broken in an instant. In the void, the clouds dispersed, and the sky was clear. Only Ling Xiao was left standing in the void. His robe was whiter than snow, and he held the ancient sword of devouring heaven in his hand. He locked on to the 4 nine-headed giant snakes below. Slash! Ling Xiao's eyes were extremely sharp. In an instant, he moved across the sky and slashed the 9-headed giant snake with his sword. A giant head was instantly chopped off, but with a flash of light, a new head grew out. I would like to see how many heads you have for me to slash. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed coldly. He held the ancient sword of devouring heaven in his hand, and the so-called Heavenly Dipper Demon God battle formation was simply a joke in front of him. Puff! The heads of the 4 nine-headed giant snakes were all chopped off by Ling Xiao in an instant. Although they all grew back with a flash of light, their auras were obviously weakened, and their life source was also greatly depleted. Oh no, this kid is too terrifying. Let's go! The 4 elders of the 9-headed snake clan no longer had a trace of fighting spirit at this moment. Everyone's eyes were filled with terror. You want to leave? You'd better leave your lives behind. Ling Zhao's eyes flashed with murderous intent as he chased after the 4 elders with his sword. Swoosh! In the eye of the East Sea, the 2 elders in black and white robes flew out and grabbed Xiang Jie. As for the other experts of the 9-headed snake clan, they were all slaughtered by them. They were speechless that Xiang Jie's primordial spirit had been destroyed by Ling Xiao. Although he was not dead, he had become a good-for-nothing and a fool. He only knew how to laugh foolishly and was delirious. When they saw the 4 elders of the 9-headed snake clan trying to escape, they sneered and immediately intercepted them. Old things, where do you think you're going? Rumble! A powerful dragon's aura filled the air. The black-robed and white-robed elders' auras were monstrous. Their eyes were cold as they blocked the 4 elders. Chapter 674. Let's fight it out with them. The 4 elders' eyes were filled with ferocity as they fought with their lives on the line. Rumble! Their bodies were surrounded by black demonic light as their blood chi soared into the sky. They were burning their blood essence. The aura of the 4 great elders instantly soared, surpassing their peak. They charged towards the black-robed and white-robed great elder. They knew that they were no match for Ling Xiao, so they had to kill the 2 elders even if they had to. Stop them. The black-robed elder's expression changed as a cold glint flashed in his eyes. The black-robed elder turned into a black dragon that was thousands of feet long. The white-robed elder also turned into a white dragon that was thousands of feet long. His body was wrapped in a towering aura as he tried to stop the 4 elders. Bang! After a violent collision, the black and white dragons trembled as they spat out blood. Many of their dragon scales were broken as they were sent flying thousands of feet away, crashing into the sea in the distance. You're courting death. Ling Zhao's eyes were filled with murderous intent as the sky-devouring sword emitted an unparalleled sharpness. Endless chaotic aura lingered around the sword as if the 6 paths of reincarnation had appeared around it. The sword slashed down towards the 4 elders. Kacha! The golden lightning was dazzling as the unparalleled sword radiance drowned the 4 elders. Divine light trembled as if the sky had exploded. The endless East Sea seemed to have been split into 2 by Ling Zhao's sword as a huge vacuum appeared. The 4 elders of the 9-headed snake clan spat out blood as they fell into the sea like rags. They were already out of breath and had no strength to fight back. Seeing Ling Xiao descend, the 4 elders' eyes revealed a trace of despair. How dare you? Kid, if you dare to harm the 4 of them, I'll tear you into pieces. A thunderous roar suddenly exploded in the sea. Huge waves surged in all directions as they swept towards the sky. It's the 2nd clan leader. Save us, 2nd clan leader. The 4 elders had already felt that they were about to die. At this moment, when they heard this voice, their eyes instantly revealed a look of incomparable joy. They all shouted one after another. Threatening me? Unfortunately, I don't like being threatened. Ling Xiao looked at the void in the distance with a cold look in his eyes. He could sense that the owner of the voice had yet to arrive. He had only used a secret technique to prevent him from killing. Unfortunately, how could Ling Xiao be frightened by him? Rumble! The sky-devouring sword was incomparably sharp as it slashed down with a monstrous sword chi. The 4 elders' eyes were filled with disbelief as they instantly exploded into a bloody mist in the void. The heaven-devouring sword sucked the 4 nascent divinities into Ling Xiao, where they were suppressed in King Heaven Devourer. The sky seemed to have cracked open, and a tall, majestic old man in a black robe stepped out. His body was enveloped in endless black divine light, and a terrifying divine might spread out. In an instant, the void trembled, and the surrounding seas boiled as if they were welcoming their king. Supreme martial artist. This was the arrival of a true supreme being. How dare you disobey my orders, boy? Don't tell me you really don't fear death? A thunderous voice boomed out, bringing with it an ancient, indifferent, and cold aura. In an instant, a killing intent locked onto Ling Xiao. I can't believe Paragon Xiang is here, Long Hanyan said, her face draining of blood. Second clan leader of the Hydra clan? Paragon Xiang? That old bastard really has no sense of shame. I can't believe he dares to bully my cousin. That said, the old man should be here soon. You have to hold on, cousin. Long Outyan's big eyes widened, his eyes filled with incomparable worry. Your orders? Who the hell do you think you are? Why should I listen to your orders? Ling Xiao chuckled as he looked up at Paragon Xiang, his expression calm and without the slightest hint of fear. In fact, his eyes burned with the desire to do battle. According to Ling Xiao's guess, the sky-scorching demon emperor was a pure-blooded divine beast, Fire Qilin. With the cultivation of the tribulation of 4 symbols, his actual combat strength was not much weaker than a paragon's. Therefore, Ling Xiao wanted to fight Paragon Xiang to see the limits of his current combat strength. Even if he couldn't defeat Paragon Xiang, he was confident he could escape from him. Ha! What an arrogant boy! It's been many years since anyone dared to speak to me like that. That's because I've already eaten all those who dared to speak to me like that. Paragon Xiang laughed arrogantly as his black hair danced in the wind. His eyes were cold and narrow, like those of a venomous snake. Is that so? But I'm afraid today will be an exception. Ling Xiao said with a faint smile. His aura began to condense, and his eyes shone brightly. The sky-devouring sword in his hand exuded waves of excitement, as if it had been aroused by his battle intent. It began to heat up. Boy, you're crazy enough, but you still have to die. Paragon Xiang said indifferently. Suddenly his eyes flashed. Boom! Demonic chi filled the sky, and the seawater in the sea suddenly soared into the sky. It condensed into a huge palm print in the void, exuding an extremely oppressive aura as it slammed down on Ling Xiao. Good timing! Ling Xiao's eyes revealed a trace of excitement. Without the slightest fear, he went against the current and punched the huge palm print in the void. Crack! Golden light filled the air, and lightning flashed across the sky. Ling Xiao's fist exploded with the unparalleled divine power of the celestial dragon. He was like a golden celestial dragon, roaring in the sky as he charged toward Paragon Xiang. Bang! Golden light exploded, and the endless waves instantly turned into a mist, which then condensed into the most terrifying sword chi, shooting in all directions. The sea churned, and countless fishes and prawns exploded into a bloody mist, dyeing the sea red. Ling Xiao's body shook, as if he had collided with an ancient divine mountain. He was abruptly slammed into the sea by the palm print, stirring up huge waves. Xiao! Long Hanyan's eyes revealed a trace of anxiety, and she wanted to rush out regardless of everything. Auntie, don't be agitated. Cousin will be fine. If we go out now, we'll only distract him. Long Outyan hurriedly grabbed Long Hanyan, stopping her from acting rashly. Sure enough, as soon as Long Outyan's voice fell, a golden divine light shot into the sky, and Ling Xiao rushed out of the sea. Ha! Awesome! Come again if you have the ability. Chapter 675. However, Ling Xiao had only felt that the other sovereigns were unfathomable. This time, he could finally feel that Prime Xiang was very strong, but there was a limit to how much stronger he was. He'd already seen that limit, and it wouldn't be long before he could surpass it and complete the magnificent feat of killing a sovereign. Therefore, he needed an even more intense battle. He needed to force out his potential and gain enlightenment on the brink of death. Kid, you're courting death. Surprise flashed through Prime Xiang's eyes. He hadn't expected his palm to fail to injure Ling Xiao at all. Rumble! Lightning blazed between heaven and earth as a terrifying and oppressive aura spread out. Divine might filled the air around Prime Xiang as laws intertwined. Boundless power radiated from his body. He used his palm as a blade, radiating unparalleled blade light and containing a trace of the terrifying laws of destruction. He slashed it down at Ling Xiao's head. 4 symbols strike the heavens. Kill him. Ling Xiao sensed that Prime Xiang was beginning to unleash his true strength. His eyes flashed sharply as he charged forward with Devourer in hand. Rumble. 4 resplendent beams of divine light shot into the sky like 4 heavenly pillars. The 4 divine forces of earth, water, wind, and fire intertwined in a chaotic and tyrannical manner. Finally, they merged into Devourer and met Prime Xiang's attack head-on. This sword was invincible and without regret. Resplendent man, resplendent sword, and invincible conviction. Clang. Sparks flew everywhere as Ling Xiao and Devourer were sent flying several hundred meters back by the palm strike. Prime Xiang turned his palm blade into a finger. Like a shooting star, it pierced through the boundless void and pointed at Ling Xiao's forehead. Rumble. Devourer crossed the sky and blocked the attack. When the finger touched the blade, dazzling sword light burst forth. It buzzed and trembled as countless ancient runes exploded. Rumble. Prime Xiang's attacks grew faster and faster, and Ling Xiao seemed to be at a disadvantage. He blocked left and right, and was surrounded by danger. Long Hanyan's face was pale, and Long Outyan's face was filled with worry. Both of them were on edge. But at the same time, they were filled with pride. As the saying goes, everyone below the Supreme Being is an ant. Even a half-step Supreme Being who had survived the tribulation of the 4 symbols could be easily killed by a Supreme Being. However, Ling Xiao was only at the 9th rank of the Monarch realm right now, yet he was able to fight Exalt Xiang for so long. So, if Ling Xiao were to break through into the quasi-Exalt realm in the future, then who could say that he wouldn't be able to go against the flow and kill Exalts? This kid's talent is too heaven-defying. He'll definitely become a huge threat. We must kill him today. A cold light flashed through Prime Xiang's eyes. How could he not feel the terror of Ling Xiao's battle prowess? This kind of heaven-defying power made his heart tremble slightly. 1000 Revolution Array, open. Suddenly, a cold glint flashed in Xiang Jie's eyes. He pointed with his finger and the 1000 Revolution formation on Xiang Jie's body instantly spread out. It turned into a monstrous formation that enveloped the entire region. Not good. Supreme Xiang wants to kill cousin. Why isn't the old man here yet? Long Outyan's eyes revealed an incomparably anxious look. The 1000 Revolution Array diagram was a supreme weapon. In the hands of Supreme Xiang, it had erupted with an incomparably terrifying power. Compared to when Xiang Jie had used it, it was more than 10 times stronger. Kid, I admit that your talent isn't bad, but what's the point of a genius who hasn't matured yet? Supreme Xiang spoke with murderous intent, and a trace of icy cold killing intent flashed through his eyes. Rumble. Suddenly, the 1000 Revolution Array emitted dazzling rays of light. It seemed as if countless divine chains of order were sweeping across the space of this array formation. These divine chains contained an incomparably formidable power of principle. They wanted to bind Ling Xiao. Meanwhile, a black divine saber appeared in Supreme Xiang's palm. It was deep, cold, and filled with boundless killing intent as it slashed down towards Ling Xiao. You want to kill me? I'm afraid you don't have the right. A trace of madness appeared in Ling Xiao's eyes as an extremely terrifying aura erupted from his body. Rumble. It was as if the heavens had shattered and endless chaos filled the air. A powerful and mysterious figure appeared behind Ling Xiao. He was dressed in white and had white hair. He stood on a river of stars, and there were 3000 worlds revolving behind him. He looked like a supreme emperor who had suppressed the ages. This was Ling Xiao's celestial emperor Dharma idol. When combined with his Dharma idol, the power that erupted was Ling Xiao's strongest attack at the moment. The heaven-devouring sword trembled uncontrollably as it slowly rose. A terrifying sword intent rose from Ling Xiao's body. When the heaven-devouring sword was raised, the sword intent on his body rose to the extreme. At the same time, the celestial emperor Dharma idol seemed to have merged with the heaven-devouring sword. Ling Xiao's sword fell, and the heavens collapsed and the earth cracked. It was as if the endless East Sea had turned into a mulberry field and completely dried up. The divine chains of order that were shooting towards Ling Xiao exploded with crackling sounds, then collided with Supreme Xiang's black divine saber. Rumble! Terrifying divine light surged, and chaos filled the air. Ling Xiao maintained his sword stance and blocked Supreme Xiang's saber without retreating in the slightest. Everyone was stunned. Long Outyen, Long Hanyen, the black-robed elder, the white-robed elder, and even Supreme Xiang were stunned. Never in their wildest dreams could they have imagined that Paragon Xiang would be able to withstand the power of the Thousand Revolution formation and the Paragon Saber. Ling Xiao's body trembled slightly, and a trace of blood seeped out of the corner of his mouth. His face was a little pale. That strike had drained almost all of his strength, and he'd lost all feeling in his arm. The power of a supreme was close to that of a god. It was indeed beyond the reach of a human. Ling Xiao sighed inwardly. Die! Supreme Xiang's killing intent burned even brighter. He was about to raise the supreme saber in his hand and bring it down on Ling Xiao again. Hydra, how dare you hurt my nephew? A dignified, ancient, and domineering voice suddenly exploded in the void. In the sky, a dazzling golden light shone as a giant dragon claw descended from the sky. It contained a monstrous dragon's might and domineering aura. It instantly broke through the Thousand Revolution array and ruthlessly slammed into Supremacy Xiang's body. Boom! Supreme Xiang spat out a mouthful of blood as the golden dragon claw slammed into his chest. He was blasted several thousand feet away and crashed into the ocean. The waves were 10,000 zhang tall, surging and vast. A handsome middle-aged man wearing a 5-clawed golden dragon robe and a flat imperial crown stepped out of the void. His eyes were dignified and mysterious, and his entire body exuded an invincible aura that swept across the world. The master of the East Sea Crystal Palace, Dragon King Long Lai, had arrived. Chapter 676. Long Lai. Supremacy Xiang's figure flashed as he charged out of the ocean. He stood in the air and looked at Long Lai with shock and fear in his eyes. Although the war between the Dragon Clan and the Hydra Clan was intense, it was mostly between experts below the Supremacy Realm. Supremacy Realm experts were more restrained. On the War God continent, if even Supremacy Realm experts participated in a war, it would be an irreconcilable grudge. Supremacy Xiang knew that Long Lai was strong, but he'd never imagined that a Supremacy Realm Dharma body would be so terrifying. That's right, the Long Lai in the air was only a Supremacy Realm Dharma body. He wasn't the true master of the East Ocean Crystal Palace. Hydra Clan, how dare you injure my nephew? Are you courting death? Long Lai stood in the air. His eyes were dignified and deep as he glanced at Prime Xiang indifferently. The endless ocean seemed to be boiling as it surged beneath his feet. Huge waves surged as if the entire world was welcoming their king. Long Lai, this brat killed my son, Xiang Jie, and even killed 4 of my clan's elders. He deserves to die 1,000 times over. So what if he's your nephew? He deserves to die too. Supremacy Xiang glanced at Long Lai with a gloomy gaze. He was extremely domineering and didn't back down at all. Kill your son and the 4 great elders? Well done. As expected of this prince's nephew. If this prince insists on protecting him, what will you do? Long Lai glanced at the corpses of Xiang Jie and the 4 elders with a trace of surprise in his eyes. 4 half-step supremacies who'd survived the tribulation of 4 symbols had died at Ling Xiao's hands. Even Long Lai was shocked. After all, Ling Xiao was only at the 9th level of the monarch realm in Long Lai's eyes. Ling Xiao rolled his eyes speechlessly. This Long Lai kept saying that he was this prince's nephew, which made Ling Xiao's teeth itch. He really wanted to go up and beat him up. After all, he was the one who had imprisoned Long Hanyen for so long. Long Lai, you're too arrogant. Do you really think there's no one left in the 9-headed snake tribe? Supreme Xiang said coldly. Although the Hydra clan was cold-blooded by nature, Sovereign Xiang didn't feel too sad even if Xiang Jie was killed. After all, he had too many sons to count. It was just that Xiang Jie was one of the more outstanding ones. What infuriated Supremacy Xiang the most was that Ling Xiao, an ant-like human, had actually dared to brazenly kill the 4 elders after he'd threatened him. This was a blatant challenge to his authority. Really? Hydra, it seems that you have become more and more presumptuous in the years that this king has been away. In that case, this king will teach you a lesson today. Rumble. A vast and boundless aura burst forth. Long Lai's eyes flashed sharply as his aura surged to the heavens. He punched towards Prime Xiang. Golden light shone resplendently as his chi and blood surged. At the same time, he gave off a terrifying dragon's roar. Ling Xiao felt a powerful dragon's aura from Long Lai's body. This was the power of a true dragon, a true pure-blooded divine beast. He was unparalleled and possessed an invincible belief. In comparison, although Long Outyin and the Sky-Scorching Demon Emperor were also pure-blooded divine beasts, they couldn't unleash the power of their divine beast bloodline unless they reached the supremacy realm. This punch was terrifying beyond compare, and even the void exploded with a rumble. Long Lai, do you think this king is afraid of you? A ferocious look appeared in Prime Xiang's eyes as well. Black divine light emanated from his body as the 1,000 revolution formation hovered above his head. Boundless power of laws gathered in his palm as he struck out with his palm as well. A huge palm print swept across the sky and pressed down. Rumble. As the fist and palm collided, a muffled thunder exploded. A destructive force erupted and swept out in all directions. Above the void, divine light intertwined as turbulence surged. It was dazzling. Even though Long Lai and Sovereign Xiang were high up in the sky and tens of thousands of feet below them, the terrifying ripples still caused the entire region to explode. Huge waves surged into the sky, and countless fish and shrimps were caught in the crossfire, exploding into a bloody mist. Rumble. Long Lai and Supreme Xiang exchanged blows rapidly in the void. Their speed was extremely fast, and every strike was like the sky exploding, causing endless divine light to erupt. Ling Xiao could see that Supreme Xiang was already at a disadvantage. Long Lai only used a pair of golden true dragon fists to suppress Supreme Xiang, who had fully activated the 1,000 revolution formation and unleashed his full combat strength. Even a supremacy celestial body has such combat strength. It seems like this cheap uncle of mine isn't far from being a titled supremacy, even if he's not yet a titled supremacy. Ling Zhao's eyes flickered. With the power of Long Lai's supremacy celestial body, he couldn't see what realm Long Lai's true body was at. After all, each step in the supremacy realm was a whole different level. The gap between them was huge. A titled supremacy could be said to have broken through the peak of the 9th level of the supremacy realm and reached the legendary peak of the 10th level of the supremacy realm. They were peerless powerhouses who were close to the gods. There were even legends that said that the peak of the 9th level of the supremacy realm was the pinnacle of humanity. In ancient times, they could ascend to become gods and become gods. However, the laws of this world were different, as if something had happened. That was why the peak of the 10th level of the supremacy realm and the terrifying power of titled supremacy existed. Therefore, even if there were gods, titled supremacies could still slaughter them. When Ling Xiao saw Long Lai, he thought of the 3 great wisdom kings of the Wisdom King Temple he had seen in the God Burial Cave. Ksitigarbha Wisdom King, Akalanatha Wisdom King, and Trailokivijaya Wisdom King. Although they seemed to have the combat strength of titled supremacies, Ling Xiao had thought that they were titled supremacies, but now it seemed that they were still a little lacking. Rumble. The battle in the void was extremely intense, but Long Lai moved slowly through the void. When he punched out, heaven and earth rumbled. Supreme Xiang was completely suppressed. It seemed that he would be defeated in an instant. Long Lai, you dare to humiliate my Hydra clan? Do you really think that there's no one left in my clan? Rumble. Heaven and earth trembled, and another cold and powerful voice rang out. The void in the distance rumbled, and the sea surged. A middle-aged man in a black robe walked out. His body emitted an aura that was even stronger than that of Supreme Xiang. Lu Jizuan? Long Lai's eyes flashed sharply as he said indifferently. This middle-aged man in a black robe had a sinister face. His eyes were cold, and his aura was incomparably powerful. He had actually faintly reached a kind of limit, and his cultivation was even higher than that of Supreme Xiong. He was the patriarch of the Hydra clan, Lu Jizuan. The two supremacies of the Hydra clan, Supreme Xiong and Lu Jizuan, were both here. Big brother, let's kill Long Lai's supremacy celestial body together. Then, before his main body returns, we'll directly destroy the Crystal Palace. Chapter 677. Long Lai, you dare to behave atrociously with a mere sovereign's celestial body? Today, leave your celestial body behind for this sovereign. Lu Jizuan's eyes revealed a trace of cold light. Black light surged all over his body as he punched towards Long Lai. Rumble. The surrounding space trembled. The blazing fist was like an ancient divine mountain, containing a dark and ancient aura, covering the sky and covering the sun. Looks like the nine-headed snake clan is getting more and more arrogant. Since that's the case, then there's no need for you to exist. Long Lai's eyes were still indifferent and calm, but his voice emitted endless majesty and domineering aura. Boom! Golden blood energy filled the air around his body. The golden fist was vast and dazzling, like a golden sea, instantly enveloping Sovereign Xiong and Lu Jizuan. He actually wanted to rely on his own strength to fight the two sovereigns of the nine-headed snake clan. One must know that this was only Long Lai's sovereign's celestial body. The nine-headed snake clan experts that followed all trembled from head to toe, their eyes filled with shock. If a sovereign's celestial body was able to suppress two sovereigns, then didn't that mean that if Long Lai's true body returned to the war god Great World, he would be able to wipe out the nine-headed snake clan with a raise of his hand? Long Hanyan, Long Outyan, as well as the black-robed and white-robed elders all came to Ling Zhao's side. Although the three sovereigns were fighting fiercely above the nine heavens, Long Hanyan only had Ling Xiao in her eyes. Xiao, have you been well all these years? Long Hanyan's voice was somewhat trembling. Her eyes were slightly red and sparkling tears rolled down. Mother, I've been very well. I came late, I should have come earlier to save Mother. Ling Xiao said with a smile. Holding Long Hanyan's hand, a feeling of blood connection surged into his heart. That feeling was very warm and very peaceful. It was something that Ling Xiao had never felt in his previous life. It was as if the softest part of his heart had been touched in an instant. Ling Xiao had originally been running away because he felt that he had taken over Ling Zhao's body. Therefore, his feelings towards Long Hanyan and Ling Zhen were very complicated and he didn't know how to face them. But now, after Ling Xiao saw Long Hanyan, with the help of the reincarnation divine ability that Panguchu had imparted to him, Ling Xiao discovered that he had not taken over her body, but had been reborn. His memories merged with the memories of the past 15 years. Only then did he realize that he was still him. He had never changed. On the War God continent, although there were powerhouses who wanted to possess ordinary people after reaching the end of their lifespan, their primordial spirit and mortal body were unable to fuse together. There was no way for them to achieve the unity of heaven and man. Their martial cultivation was at most at the Grandmaster realm. On the other hand, Ling Xiao had been cultivating from the meridian opening stage all the way until now, without being affected at all. Ling Xiao originally thought that it was because he had the wordless heavenly book, a heaven-defying treasure. But now it seemed that it was not the case at all. He was Ling Xiao. Long Hanyan and Ling Zhen were his parents in this life. No, it's Mother's fault. If Mother hadn't left you and your father 20 years ago, you wouldn't have suffered so much. Long Hanyan's shoulders were trembling and her eyes were filled with tears of joy. Mother, aren't I doing well now? This isn't your fault. If you want to blame someone, blame that cheap uncle of mine. Now that I've found you, I'll find Father in the future. When that time comes, our family will be completely reunited. Ling Xiao smiled and hugged Long Hanyan. His eyes were filled with tears and he was also incomparably excited. But his heart was very calm and peaceful. As if a knot in his heart had been untied, Ling Xiao felt that his state of mind had improved by leaps and bounds. Even his realm had become complete. His entire body felt very relaxed, as if he had broken the shackles. Even the true dragon bloodline in his blood began to surge violently. Good. Xiao, mother is so happy to see you. Is your father well? You just said that you found him. Could it be that he has also left the Eight Desolates region? Long Hanyan felt very happy. At this moment, she was incomparably peaceful. Regardless of the great battle outside and the boiling seas, she hugged her son tightly, wanting to give him all the motherly love that he had lacked for the past 20 years. Ling Xiao looked at Long Outyen with some doubts. Long Outyen shook his head silently. It turned out that Long Outyen didn't tell Long Hanyan that Ling Jin had come to the East Sea because he was afraid that she would be worried. Mother, father came to the God of War continent before me. I haven't found him yet, but I'll definitely find him. Ling Xiao patted Long Hanyan's shoulder and said slowly, "It's all that bastard Long Lai's fault. If it weren't for him, our family wouldn't have been separated. But mother can't beat him. When your cultivation increases and you become a supreme being, you must teach him a good lesson." Long Hanyan was full of resentment towards Long Lai. When she mentioned Long Lai, her eyes were full of anger. That's right, cousin, that old man is too hateful. If I can beat him, I'll definitely beat him up to vent my aunt's anger. But I'm still young. This heavy burden will fall on you. Long Outyen was also jumping up and down at the side. His face was full of smiles that deserved a beating. Ling Xiao was speechless. Long Outyen was such a troublemaker. However, Long Lai was indeed asking for a beating. This cheap uncle of his was a little too unreasonable. For some unknown reason, Long Lai insisted on marrying Long Hanyan to the sky-burning demon emperor and pushed his sister into the fire pit. The black-robed elder and the white-robed elder's mouth twitched. This great-aunt and little ancestor actually ordered Long Lai's nephew to beat Long Lai? What was going on? But this was the Dragon King's family matter. They couldn't say much. "Oh right, mother, let me introduce you to a few people." Ling Xiao suddenly remembered that Phoenix Maiden and the rest were still in the God of Heaven's stone. He smiled and brought them out of the God of Heaven's stone. The Phoenix Maiden was wearing a black dress. Her skin was snow-white and sparkling like jade. Her figure was extremely hot, and her peerless face carried a very seductive aura. However, her eyes were filled with hidden bitterness as she glared fiercely at Ling Xiao. She wasn't even prepared, and in the end, Ling Xiao brought her out. For some reason, Phoenix Maiden's heart was filled with nervousness and uneasiness. It was as if she was meeting her in-laws. She didn't dare to look into Long Hanyan's eyes. And Luoluo was wearing a white dress. She was extremely cute like a porcelain doll. She hugged the white and fat big radish and rode on the nine-headed lion. She looked like she was carved out of jade. Her big eyes were clear and pure, pink and chubby. She made people love her at first sight. The big radish was white and fat. It was a little unwilling and struggled in Luoluo's arms. But it seemed to be afraid of something and could only let Luoluo hug it. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.